What's up, Artemis? Cap, Artemis, how's it going, guys? Man, I got this new, not new, I thrifted this office chair. It was like 10 bucks, right? I'm like, 10 bucks, this is a steal. It's broken. It's like permanently leaning back all the way. A little bit sad about it. But it's always fun thrifting stuff. I love thrifting. It was my B-Day a couple days ago, 32. Hell yeah, Larry! Happy birthday! Love that for you. My birthday's coming up next month. What's up, Sean? I've been watching you and John when you guys are live. Pretty fun stuff. I love the way you guys argue. Chixie helped me out yesterday and literally saved me and my wife from starving, so kudos to Chixie for being an amazing person. Also, Now Heart helped out as much. Well, what? That's amazing. Yeah, Chixie and Now Heart have amazing hearts. Sean and John Cohen. Awesome, I appreciate it. We're on again this evening. Hell yeah, man. I'll be hopping in if I get the time to. Been trying to watch a little bit more of streams. I usually don't watch debate streams like at all. I also need to get back into some videos. I haven't made a video in over a week as well. Gonna try out a new editor as well with my next video. Hoping it's pretty good. You doing, K. Chris? Why would I want to change your mind? The Bible is not for everybody. Then you don't need to. The point is, like, if you want to, you request up and we talk about it. 1 Peter 3:15 says that you should, though. Remember, if I told you Cody, but you inspired me to look into witchcraft and tarot cards? Hell yeah! Yeah, witchcraft is really good for psyche. Yo, pause. Got another watch just delivered. Hell yeah. Gotta go grab that. Does religion become a minority by 2100? Probably. Why are you trying to get people to change your mind? I enjoy debating. All right. What's up, Chase? All right. I'm going to throw up the YouTube call-in link as well. Haven't done that in a minute. Go ahead and get that sucker going. Hopefully it works this time. If one of you guys would test out the link once I get it up, let me know if it works or not. I don't know why it wasn't working last time. That doesn't make sense to me. So, all right. Link to call in. Test out that link for me. See if it works, guys. Let's pin that. Happy Thursday. Hell yeah. I got my Mjolnir on today as well. Did you get the audio issue between TikTok and YouTube calling? I have not. Me and GE were messaging about it, and right when we got to the point of like, hey, which actual day are we free? Neither of us was able to give like a actual answer. Dude, me and GE really suck at fucking texting. Oh man, TikTok live disconnected. We all good? We all good? All good? The Wi-Fi that we've got here in this house, really good Wi-Fi. I've got 500 up, but it's been cutting in and out for like once a day. It'll like cut out for like 3 minutes, which is why it shut off yesterday during yesterday's stream for YouTube as well. It's I don't know what's up with that, so we gotta call customer support and see what's going on with that. Jesus was chill, but he definitely wasn't God. I don't think Jesus was very chill for telling people that he was here to turn mother away from daughter and father away from son, and that you must hate yourself to love God and all that crap. Do you believe that there's absolutely no afterlife and that consciousness is fully brain dependent? Yeah, I have no reason to believe otherwise. There's no evidence of anything after death. Your brain floods with DMT, which is why you get like all these afterlife experiences from NDEs. You just hallucinate a fuck ton. Whatever you believed while you were alive is what you end up seeing while you're passing away. I think if anything, if any of the stories about afterlives were true, reincarnation would be the most likely to be true. Nothing about gods or anything, but oh shoot, Chase, I forgot to ask you that question as well. Shucks, did I ask it? Okay, awesome. I did ask it, and you responded. Wonderful. I appreciate that response, Chase. Thank you. Show me physical evidence of your consciousness. Yeah, MRI machines. Easy. Which one? The energy creation idea. Yeah, because my number one argument is typically energy can't be created. If energy can't be created and energy exists, therefore it's always existed. So that's why I was asking you about that, especially with the redshift idea, which in my research, I've seen that even with the redshifting, we can't say it's literally being created. So that's why I still hold to that argument, which is also why I asked you it, because if, you know, you actually fucking work with quantum or theoretical physics, so you're going to know more than me. I appreciate that response. I'll read that a little bit later, more in depth, to get your full response in there. Hail atheism. I am muted. Oh, let's see if... Hey, it worked. I won't be able to actually converse with you in TikTok, though. If someone on YouTube comes up, though, if you want to request up on the TikToks and hang out, I'm more than happy to do that again. We did that about a week and a half ago, didn't we? What's your evidence for a god or gods do not exist? Yeah, the story of God as an all-powerful, outside of time, creator of all things. Energy can't be created, therefore the story of God creating it is false. I have no reason to believe the story that God exists. The Abrahamic God does not exist and cannot exist because anything outside of time cannot interact with time. Therefore, all the stories of a being outside of time interacting with time is not true. So it's just that simple. That's why I'm swapping over to paranormal discussions as well, because God arguments are just so bad. They just get boring. Like, it's just there's no logical reason. I mean, I could argue that you could have reason to believe in a god. What's up, CT? I could argue that you could have reason and that you could have logical validity behind why you believe in a god, but I can't grant that it's logically sound to believe in a god, and obviously there's no empirical data justifying the belief in a god, so what's up, CT?
Sup. Just quick side note, what are your thoughts on, especially, so like if change is just from our perspective going through the B universe.
Oh, interesting. Okay, yep.
So, like changes from our perspective. So like, because the analogy I've heard that I really appreciate, think of time like a road.
Mhm.
In one area it's 2 lanes, in a different area it's 4 lanes. Now the road itself doesn't go through a change per se, it's existing actually in that state as a total whole, but it appears to change from our perspective as we walk along that road. Now God outside of time obviously can't change.
Mhm.
But you were saying, therefore he can't interact with time. But that's if we're holding to presentism, where the only real moment is the present moment. But if God is eternal and unchanging, then the interactions, quote unquote, that we have with him isn't God doing something, stop doing something. It's not a change on God's end, but it's a change from our perspective as we're moving along our temporal frame of reference to a point where the road changes from 2 to 4 lanes, so to speak.
Sure. My first thought is that's going to be a semantical argument because I would argue that it actually does change. The width is changing. But like with B theory of time, that's that present, past, and future are all actualized.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I mean, you can't get outside of time to inside of time without being able to have change. Like nonetheless, A and B theory wouldn't allow for that.
Well, so that's thinking of change from an Aristotelian sense, and someone pointed out that B theory of
Yeah.
time kind of destroys Aristotelian idea of change.
Yeah. That's why I'm
I'm
saying that
still,
becomes a semantical argument on like what we call change.
mhm.
I think I could grant like I can see the perspective of the road isn't technically being changed like in its present moment, but it is changing its width. Or at least the width was changed. So there still had to be some A to B interaction, you know?
Well, the one that I like to use, and it's a very silly analogy, but it just makes sense to me, is imagine you are a teeny tiny fish in a river, and you're swimming along, and you come across a fingertip, and then you keep swimming, and you come across another fingertip, and you keep swimming, and you come across another fingertip. For you, those are three different interactions, three different quote unquote changes.
Mhm.
But in reality, from the perspective of the fisherman who's dipping his fingers in the water, it's the same singular action that it didn't change between each of your interactions with it.
I mean,
And
there's
so
still a change. Just getting a new fingertip is a change.
no, the change is from the fish, not from the fisherman. That's the point.
Well, what's still changing for the fisherman is time, first and foremost, going into the future, and then also being able to wiggle your fingers and stuff. Like, there's really no way to get around change.
Well, you're adding things to the analogy that wasn't in there. The point is that this isn't a perfect analogy. It's more
Sure.
of to
No, I
indicate
see the
that
point. Like, I could definitely see the point of the analogy. I definitely that's a
it's hard to
semantical
wrap our
argument.
minds around it. Yeah.
I think if I granted your definition of change, I could probably grant that, and then grant some allowance for the possibility of an external change.
Well, like, so you know my argument with the whole if God is outside of time, the whole like syllogism that I brought up a couple of times that I actually like got from you.
Yeah.
So, like, one of the biggest things that I've had theists say in response to that is, well, the creation of the universe and time was a simultaneous action. And I mean, if you really examine like their examples of a simultaneous action, like, you know, hand moves, pillow moves, whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's still
Delay.
temporal ordering involved in that simultaneous action. Like one of these things has to occur for the other thing to occur, regardless of you see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense for them to use that argument, but they do.
Closest, if I'm understanding the science behind it, the closest that you're going to get to it is quantum entanglement, because there is a causal chain that is happening faster than the speed of light. But that's on like the quantum field. But on the macro field, uh, it's limited by the speed of light.
So Gretchen, do you know who Gretchen is?
No.
I don't.
Okay, Gretchen's she's on the YouTube side of things. She does a lot with Justin and everyone else. She's actually the reason that Justin gave me that shout out a little while. She introduced me to a gentleman named Chase. Chase is requesting up now. I'm gonna let him up and let him explain some things on the quantum entanglement ideas. What's up,
Hey, how's
Chase?
it going? That was the one thing I was gonna say that I don't know who said it because I'm actually doing a little bit of work right now, but the quantum entanglement does not involve a causal interaction or signal traveling faster than the speed of light. That's kind of a issue with our science communication about quantum mechanics, which is really, really bad. It's led to a lot of issues in the understanding. But there is something called a no communication theorem that proves that entanglement cannot transmit signals or data faster than light.
Oh, okay.
There's a few things that and one day I'm going to stop being lazy and actually make some science communication videos. But there's a lot of things in quantum mechanics that are just like the way that they're presented to the public. Because quantum mechanics, it's really hard to talk about in words. The math is super clear on a lot of things.
Sure.
And then when you try to explain it with words, it just immediately is easy to say things that are either a little wrong in confusing ways or just very wrong. The biggest one I have a beef with, anybody that's talked to me for any length of time knows that I'm always rambling about this issue with observation.
The observation.
Yup.
Yup.
I'm always like, guys, it's detection. It's detection.
Yup. Literally, there has to be some sort of an interaction.
Yeah, it's like, but we did observation and kind of self-imposed the whole like consciousness creates reality nonsense. Like we kind of put that on ourselves as this in the physics community by saying observation.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, the layman isn't like it took me. I think when I first started deconstructing, one of the first things I was looking at was the double slit experiment for observation, the observer effect, and I wanted so bad for there to be some sort of quantum realm or whatever, because it's not a quantum realm. It's just everything's fucking tiny. It's not like a new dimension or anything. And I wanted that to be so real that I studied the fuck out of it as much as I could in my ignorance, but realizing how wrong we have so much of our understanding of quantum mechanics and how wrong it is in layman.
Yeah, I got my summary of it from, or at least what I just conveyed was, if I remember correctly, it was like the PBS Science YouTube channel, which, from what I understand, is a good science communicator, but
PBS?
The fact that they're, yeah, but the fact that they're trying to do it, fact they're trying to explain it to a layperson, yeah, I can understand misunderstandings coming up.
And quantum mechanics, more than anything else, quantum mechanics and quantum field theory, dude, they don't even make sense to us. We just know how to do the math.
That's valid.
Like the intuition for it just isn't. That's why there's so many different interpretations. Like something like general relativity, one of the things that's beautiful about general relativity is how simple the concept is. You could explain to, I mean, I hesitate to say a child, but I mean a 12, 13-year-old how mass is curving space-time, and the shortest path in a curved space-time is a geodesic, and that's how orbits and things happen. You could explain it very simply and not use a single term of math and convey more or less the actual picture.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to quantum mechanics, you hear people say like, when even asking someone like, what's a wave function? Like it's an infinite dimensional complex vector in a Hilbert space is the actual definition. But I'm not going to say that if I'm talking to not a physicist about quantum mechanics.
So, hey, Chick, so you are a physicist? I have a question.
Clarify, okay.
So, I mean, this is kind of unrelated to any topic for the actual channel, but so I've been tinkering with the idea of magnetohydrodynamics.
Okay.
Whoa.
And like, while I don't think that my current designs are very efficient, like I can't really think of anything other than like a huge bank of capacitors that would be able to provide enough energy for this thing to be like feasible.
What is the thing? Like what's the end result?
So basically it's a magnetohydrodynamic drive that ionizes just the air around us and uses that as propulsion.
I mean, you would have to talk more with an engineer on that. I don't build anything. I'm a theoretical physicist. My job is more how much energy would you need, what mechanisms, if you want to talk about like efficiency or Actually generating that amount of energy, you would need to talk more with an engineer.
That's fair.
But yeah, so my background, I work in. I don't have my PhD yet. I'm in a PhD program at a respected university. I don't like to publicize which one.
Yeah.
But
You're fine. But
but I
that's
work,
awesome, though.
But I work in early universe cosmology, string theory, and quantum gravity more generally. So that's. But magnetohydrodynamics, it's very fascinating. If you want to look into it, again, you're gonna have to really dig into some math.
Yeah.
Ew.
Well,
Ew.
see, I got lucky. For some reason, I'm able to do algebra in my head. Like, I have problems writing it out, but like I'm able to visualize the numbers in my brain as like physical 3-dimensional objects. So it makes it a lot easier for me to just do it in my head because I'm able to arrange things in my brain. I don't know, it's weird, man.
I don't
It's a
know if
little
my
confusing.
brother does exactly that, but he was able to do complex math problems mentally. In fact, like me and my siblings were all homeschooled, so he would do the math problem. My mom would look at the answer, and the answer is correct, but she wants to check the work to make sure that we're following the logic and not just being lucky guesses, so to speak. And she's like, Matthew, where's the work? How did you get to this answer? And he just goes, I just know that's the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and intuition is strong. However, there is a lot of value in being able to write out your math because if you don't understand every intermediate step, there's a very good chance that as you move to higher level mathematics, you end up with holes in your knowledge that you were kind of skipping over.
That's entirely fair.
Because like it's like the biggest thing to note is that like most people they're like I'll hear this a lot. People are like, man, calculus, right? Calculus is introductory math in my field. So your Calc 1, Calc 2, Calc 3, differential equations, linear algebra are considered the fundamentals.
Fuck that.
And none of us are like, you know, Ramanujan or these like brilliant mathematicians that can just automatically solve this. Even the best physicists I know, we had to really work to understand. Like, there's been times where I went back. It doesn't happen anymore, but where I went all the way back to my freshman Calc 1 class to relearn a concept better, despite making over 100% on the exam and really getting all the answers right.
Mm-hmm.
There's these deeper things that are going on that I was
Yeah.
missing because I was just getting that right answer and not worried about how I was getting there.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, that's fair.
If you wouldn't mind me asking you a question.
Me or him?
You.
Oh yeah, sure.
Could you explain to me what a virtual particle is?
Another unfortunate artifact of science communication. So virtual particles are not taken to actually exist. They're more things we use in the mathematics. So I guess the easiest way to explain it would be that there really aren't virtual particles.
See, I'm more so curious on why are these called virtual particles?
I would assume for some visual representation of what we're doing.
Yeah, sorry, I was talking into a muted mic. I didn't realize I hit the button. But but they're called virtual because they don't have any like independent reality, permanent existence, or strict physical properties of real particles. They're more mathematical placeholders.
Mm-hmm.
They're undetectable. You know, there's a lot of things.
So these things don't. Okay, that sounds very, very interesting to me. So, oh, wonder what I could do with that.
Not much.
I
Oh,
had
no,
another
no,
quick
I'm
question for Chase. If That's all right.
Listen, this is his Q&A today. We're testing his knowledge.
We're stealing the Ask a Physicist name from Dr. Blitz.
So like mathematical dimensions and stuff like that would be something that would be within your field, correct?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so like I've heard several different things. Like mathematically, there can be like 13 dimensions or 24 dimensions or infinite dimensions. So I'm not really like sure exactly what is correct on that end. But when talking about mathematical dimensions, are these also like spatial dimensions, or is it something else entirely?
So this is where we are triple dipping with a word. And again, this is our fault. When you're learning, so I'm going to give you like a little bit of a long-winded answer, but I promise it's going to be the most satisfying answer. And it's not every day that people want to hear me yap about physics. Usually my wife is telling me to shut the hell up. Uh, so when you are doing your undergraduate program, you come across like a symbol like K, right? And you're like, oh, that's the spring constant. And then later it becomes the equilibrium constant. And then later it becomes the Coulomb constant. And then before you know it, you're using K and the Greek letter kappa, which is just a weird K. And you're going, why are we, quadruple dipping on this same letter? So the word dimension will come up in several different ways. When you say and they've used this, by the way, to again do horrible science communication with like pop science articles. So one way you can define dimension that is the most popular way is what we call an orthogonal space-time direction. So in string theory, we have string theory is 26 dimensional. Then you have superstring theory is 10 dimensional. And then we have M theory, which is 11 dimensional. And these are actual space-time directions. And what we mean by orthogonal is just moving in one does not change your value in another. So for example, X and Y are orthogonal because if you say Y is 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, it doesn't change the value of X.
Yeah.
Right? You're just going up the Y axis. So imagine if you had X, Y, Z, and I gave you another one, W, this fourth dimension. And this fourth dimension could be 1 inch away from you, right? So W value could be 1. And you would never interact with it because as a 3-dimensional being, you are not capable of moving in that fourth dimension at all. Your value
Yeah, so kind of like how Carl Sagan explained how a fourth dimension would be by using like the hypothetical 2-dimensional being in a 3-dimensional object entering that 2-dimensional space, right?
Yeah, like the flatland example.
Yeah.
So that's the most popular way that we use it. There's another way to use the word dimension, which is very unfortunate, which is the amount of parameters it takes to describe a thing. So for example, your pants are 2-dimensional. They require length and width. If you wear a 3330, that's 2 dimensions.
Yeah.
So you could have like a car. You can imagine all of the things we could put to a car, the air pressure, the amount of gas it holds, the amount of cylinders, the blah, blah, blah. We could end up with a 250 dimensional car. That doesn't mean there's 250 spatial dimensions. That's why I said it's unfortunate that we kind of double dipped with that word.
Gotcha.
And then
yeah, no, that clarifies a lot. I don't know why I can't speak today.
No, you're good. There was a article that was just written that pretty much made every physicist simultaneously facepalm, where they had an experiment where a photon accessed, it was either 27 or 37 dimensions. And people are freaking out, like 27 dimensions, and they were using it in the parameter way, wherein they're just required 27 parameters to describe the photon. And we're like, there's no way people are going to know that when they're reading this article on like CNN. We're just fueling the nonsense that we're trying to fight against. And so then the third way, you mentioned infinite dimensional. So you have like Hilbert space is an infinite dimensional vector space. That's a lot more nuanced mathematically, but the best way that I can explain it is you are aware that, like, for example, the numbers go 0 to infinity, but also there are an infinite amount of numbers between 0 and 1.
Yeah.
If all of those numbers are allowed, so let's say you have a wave function, we call it psi, it's a function of x. So let's just say we have a function of x. If x is allowed to take any of those infinite values as an input, then and it qualifies as a vector space, which we won't get into that, then it's technically an infinite dimensional vector space. Because infinitely many input parameters can give you infinitely many output parameters. So again, we triple dipped the same word.
Yeah.
And if you've done physics long enough, you know exactly which one they're talking about. It would be like saying football. If I'm saying football in the same context as the FIFA World Cup, I don't need to tell you I'm talking about soccer, as Americans call it.
Yeah.
If I say football and then I talk about the New England Patriots, you're not picturing soccer, you're picturing American football. It's the same word, but the context doesn't really need to be clarified if you're a sports fan. So if you are doing physics, you can use dimension in any of these ways and you don't even really need to specify.
Now, here's kind of probably more of a speculative question. If extra dimensional beings did exist, would we have any way of measuring that?
So there is a bit of a misunderstanding in the question. So the extra dimensions that we study that are spatial dimensions that are like actual physical things, if they're real, they're absurdly tiny. 6 of them are. If you ever want to look around on it, don't try to go too. I mean, you can try to go as deep as you want, but it can get headache inducing quickly. But what we do is we call them compactified on a Calabi-Yau manifold, which is a 6-dimensional manifold that like folds back over itself, and then on the macro scale ends up not looking like space-time dimension. So if extra dimensional beings exist, they're like on the size of the Planck scale.
So like that
tried to find
that wouldn't necessarily be anything that would be able to manipulate anything on a noticeable scale to us then, right?
No. There would be, if there were, what it would basically be would be other 3 plus 1 dimensional beings. 3 space 1 time. Other 3 plus 1 dimensional beings have figured out how to maybe manipulate those other ones on that tiny micro scale to make technology or something that's insane to us, but they themselves would exist in the same space-time we do.
Gotcha.
I do have one more question before I head out. Should I want to do today? What's your opinion on idealism?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
I honestly don't even know what that is. I don't do philosophy at all.
Yeah, idealism is the view that everything is consciousness. Put it in its simplest terms.
It sounds ridiculous.
It is. All right, had to make him laugh. He was talking too much, but I'm gonna head out. See you later, Cody.
We can't hear you, or I can't.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
was gonna
my
say
bad.
that
I
as
forgot I
well.
muted
I didn't
myself.
I did that too earlier.
Yeah,
virtually.
literally.
I was doing muted phone.
Idealism is taking into account phi, the mathematical formula, that all things have information, and it redefines consciousness as that is just something that holds information to some certain degree.
That's a lot more defensible.
Panpsychism is cool. I don't grant it just because like it allows consciousness in rocks, because rocks have a certain level of this phi. So I grant consciousness only as that to be awake and aware, someone or something of which having a brain.
Yeah, like
I mean,
something experiencing a subjective reality.
I mean, speak for yourself. Rocco the Rock on Sesame Street seems very intelligent.
Fucking
I think Rocky
ball
Balboa
knowledge.
as well.
Rocky Balboa, we can talk about whether he's conscious or not.
He's conscious. It's just riddled with CTE.
God, I love him. Dude, that guy's fucking backstory is gnarly.
Sylvester Stallone? Or
Yeah, Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, I didn't know if there was like more lore to that universe. I didn't
Oh,
know.
not that I know of. I'm not that much of a fan.
I think probably his most ridiculously plotted movie would have to be Over the Top.
Never heard of that one.
I mean, either, but if it's ridiculous, I'll watch
about
it.
arm wrestling, my guy.
Is it
Like,
really?
who the fuck makes a movie about arm wrestling?
That's awesome.
Who?
That's awesome. That's fucking awesome.
It's like I'm pretty sure, like, you know, the studio looked at fucking Sylvester Stallone and was like, who asked for this? Who wants this other than you? Like,
He's like, hey, listen, a good idea.
but yeah, like in the movie, he's got this technique where he like puts, like, when he's got the arm wrestling grip, he moves his fingers to where his thumb within the grip is between the fingers, like, so you got like your index and your middle finger on one side and then your ring finger and your pinky on the other, over top of the other person's hand, and somehow that gives him like a strength advantage in the arm wrestling. But like, I've personally tried this and it does not make it any easier.
Yeah, that's
If anything, it makes it more difficult.
Yeah, maybe it's the psychological factor of, like, you know, being fingered by your opponent throws you off your game. You know,
Don't
I
tempt
didn't
me
say
with a
you
good
could put your
time.
thumb in there.
I wouldn't put it past Sylvester Stallone, honestly.
Yo, Adrian, I'm gonna try this thumb thing.
Oh, Adrian! Adrian! God, I love that voice. I love screaming like that. All of my viewers know I love to scream. Ayo. Okay, comments. It seems someone wants to request up over on the YouTubes. Yay? Nay? No, I have no idea what. Atheists. Yeah, atheists. That's a weird take that most atheists believe in God. Like, no.
That's a real hot take.
Like, A means without or lack of, and theist means belief in God or gods. You put those two together and you get not having the belief in a God or gods.
Yeah,
You're thinking
I'm
about God
loving
right
this.
now. I'm also thinking about fucking Harry Potter.
Yeah, I love this game. I think most Catholics are probably Baptist.
CT.
We're just redefining things.
So CT up here, he's a Catholic. He's a Thomistic Catholic, and he's actually provided some pretty decent arguments for Catholicism. I can't grant them because there's still some gaps in there, but I like his arguments. What's up, Eli?
Yeah, what's good?
You over the age of 18, brother?
Pardon?
You over the age of 18, brother?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Which religion do you follow?
Why is my? Let me turn up my volume. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, which
Yeah,
religion
what
do you
you
follow,
say?
man?
Yeah, I'm Christian.
All right, man. Why should I be?
Well, first of all, I think it's. I would say, even if it's not true, I would say Christianity is a good moral framework.
Really?
But why? Yeah, I would say Christianity has a good.
If
moral
I
framework.
told someone my only goal is to separate them from their daughter and the son from the father, would you think I'm a good moral person?
If you have of course, if the parents are bad or your family, if someone has a bad family, then sure, yeah. Like if someone is in an abusive family or people who even supports abuse, I would
Yeah,
say
but what if it's my
really
only
good.
goal and I do not add that context and I just say, you need to love me and you need to hate your family?
Well, what do you mean by not if you don't add that context? What does that mean?
Yeah, no,
within
I
the
can
same
agree with the
sentence
context that if
or-
someone's abusive, get the person away from them. I definitely agree with that. But I was bringing up a biblical scripture where Jesus does not say if they're abusive, but instead he says, I have come not to bring people together, but to separate mother from daughter and father from son in the name of
yeah,
believing
because
in
that's
him.
what it leads. Yeah, because that's what kind of it leads to when you have someone, or even within
Well,
any
that's
religion.
not morally good.
How's it not morally good?
It's not morally good to come and purposefully do that when you're all powerful and all knowing to the degree of being able to make sure every single person believes. You, God and Jesus know
what
what
does
it
all
would
knowing?
take.
I'm curious on how does all knowing correlate to you choosing God? Or
Yeah,
not?
because God would know what it takes for every single non-believer to believe.
Yeah, he can easily force you to believe.
No, it's
Like,
not force. So if you ask me to
yeah,
demonstrate
it
that I
would be.
have evidence of a vape, here you go. Boop. Now, if I ask God to show evidence of God, he doesn't do it, even though he knows exactly what it would take. Now, that's not
Yeah,
forcing me to believe it. I'm not forcing you to smoke this vape. I'm just showing you that it exists. You don't have to. You still have free will. Remember, Adam and Eve had free will, and they knew for a fact he existed. So knowing for a fact that something is true doesn't mean you have to follow that thing. So no, it does not adhere. It
Yeah.
doesn't
So,
contradict
can I
free will.
respond to that?
Yeah.
well,
Just be
just to build off on what Cody's saying, by the way, like I'm a fellow believer, Eli. So the thing about like as a Christian needing to believe in Christ, like Satan believes Christ exists. Satan
that's not
believes
what I'm
Christ is.
dude.
Yeah.
I'm not
No,
even
no, no,
That was a
no.
good point.
Like I'm getting to it. So belief or knowing that a thing exists isn't what's required. It's servitude.
Yeah, because I was just
So
about to say that yeah, even the devil knows of God. I'm not
Mhm.
saying that just simply knowing God. I
Yeah,
think that would be
according to the
strawmanning
storybook,
my.
yeah, I agree with that. That's
But
why I
I
was
think
saying
you was kind of
then
strawmanning my
well,
belief.
no, because
no.
then the free will counter or defense that you are trying to do is irrelevant.
Yeah.
Because if Satan knows that God exists, yet still freely chooses to rebel against him, then knowing or having that evidence that would enable you to know or believe that God exists isn't required for, or knowing that doesn't impede on your free will.
Yeah.
Because you can still choose to accept and follow him or to reject him even with that knowledge.
That's why I was saying I wouldn't consider it morally okay to know exactly how to provide evidence to a substantial degree for everyone to believe, and yet instead of doing that, I say, hey, I'm not going to help anyone believe, but I am here to separate mother from daughter, father from son. I think that's pretty
No,
fucked up.
but I don't think. Yeah, in reference to that, it's not necessarily just simply belief. Rather, it's obedience on top of belief. So yeah, sure, if it was just belief, then you would be correct. If God's only, but even people who don't believe, I believe that still, even people who never get introduced to the Bible have a way to get into heaven.
Sure, yeah. Which part of that verse did Jesus say anything about that? Because last I checked, he just said, "I'm here to
Just because,
separate
okay,
mother
so
from
if
daughter,
you
father
cherry
from
pick
son."
verses, of course you can.
No, you
I
can
guess,
cherry pick yourself. Show
no,
me the
you're
part
quite literally
where.
cherry picking a verse.
No, yeah, I want you to cherry pick now.
Because you
Show.
said what part of that verse?
Yeah,
Does he
I
say
want you
that?
to
But
show
he
me
doesn't have
now.
to say that.
Yeah, I want you to show
Yeah.
me now. Go on ahead and cherry pick for me the part where Jesus said that I am only doing this not out of my will for you to be separated, but because some of you will not believe, therefore should be separated.
No, it just logically follows.
No,
It
it doesn't.
the reasoning. How does it
There's
not?
absolutely no premise with any of that verbiage in there at all. He doesn't mention that at all. So no, it doesn't logically follow. You could say you could interpret it to follow, but your interpretation isn't what the words are saying. You're adding context where there is no context. So yeah, I don't think that's morally good. I also don't think it's morally good to slaughter babies. Do you?
I don't think so too, but let's not pivot.
So like the Amalekites where God
Let's
slaughters
not pivot.
babies.
Let's not pivot. Let's not pivot.
I'm not pivoting. I just demolished you on that part.
No, you didn't. You're
So I was
quite
moving on.
literally pivoting.
Well, no, it's not a pivot because you claimed about, even
Dude,
if
are
the
you even
religion is
Christian?
false.
Like, dude, can I
Yes.
speak to an atheist? I don't know why I'm speaking to a Christian. I'm not
Don't-
gonna
don't
argue.
crash
trying to
out,
help.
buddy.
I'm trying
I
to
don't
help
need
you out
help.
here,
I don't
man,
need
because
help. I'm
Cody has
sorry.
asked me these questions and I've responded to them in a way that Cody appreciates and acknowledges. But the point that I was
Sure,
getting
maybe
at
because
is
Don't crash out, buddy.
because you're
Little bro, it's okay.
bootlicking an
It's okay,
atheist.
little bro. It's okay, little bro.
Maybe
So
because
No.
you're bootlicking.
I'll help you out here, brother.
I
Yeah.
don't need help.
Okay, sure. Yeah,
Just let
CT,
me respond actually to
CT,
your
we'll
points
take this.
without
Just
cutting me off.
let him drown. He doesn't want to grab the boat. Let him drown.
So, what was your main contention? Because you kind of got carried away.
Yeah, it was just you saying that Christianity is good for morals. I think slavery is bad morally. I think that owning
No, I'm talking
people
about
is
your
bad morally. I
specific
think
contention.
whipping people for them selling shit is bad morals. I think telling and separating mother from daughter, father and son is bad morals. I think sending two she-bears to slaughter children is bad
Yeah.
morals.
So, what would make something morally good?
Yeah, so morals by definition are principles to determine right from wrong. Whatever adheres to to bettering society, and the least and or negation of all harm is going to be good in the study of ethics. And this is going to be in agreement with where Christianity stole its morals from, which is going to be Mesopotamia, which existed way thousands of years prior to this fairy tale. But
yeah, how did Christianity steal its morals?
yeah, all of the commandments and all the morals come from Mesopotamia first and foremost.
All of them?
Yep.
So if there was differences between the Code of Hammurabi, which was the kind of general
There's some
standard
slight
for
differences, but all of it comes
no,
from.
no,
It originates from
not
Mesopotamia.
quite slight differences. There's
No,
pretty decent amount of
there's some
differences.
word for word. Like again, do unto others. Mesopotamia. Hinduism.
That is a standard that can be found.
Hinduism, you know, is older than your religion, right?
But that doesn't mean just because it's older.
Did you
than
know
my
that
religion.
it's older than your religion?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, wonderful. So now that we got the yes or no
question
question out there,
written Hinduism is older than my religion, but we really don't know how old a religion is, because a religion can be practiced through tradition before
Hinduism, Christianity hasn't existed as long as Hinduism. Therefore, Hinduism is older.
Well, I would say that ancient Judaism would be
Hinduism is older.
Christianity, yeah, I would say continuation.
Hinduism is older than Judaism.
Written Hinduism, sure, but if through tradition, you really don't know.
Written Judaism and through tradition. The Abrahamic God did not exist as long as Hinduism did, dude. In accordance with all standards, in accordance with practices, in accordance with written, Hinduism is older. What are you not comprehending here?
It's hidden. I meant written. This is written. It's simply just
written. Rituals, all of it. Hinduism's older.
How do you know that?
Because we don't see any signs of Abrahamic belief around the time of Hinduism, but we do see Hinduism. Are you okay?
Any signs of if the rituals
there's
change
no
throughout time,
there's no
the
writings, there's
Wait,
no word of mouth stories. The stories don't exist at the same time. Hinduism is older.
How would you know if someone said something if it's not written down? Like, how would you know this?
Word of mouth, oral tradition.
How would you know if there is word to mouth?
Oral tradition has lasted. Older religions like Hinduism, again, we have oral tradition for certain things. I could say that the story of Adam and Eve is oral tradition. You absolutely could, but it's not older than Hinduism.
You don't know if something's
Why are you trying to argue that the Abrahamic belief is older than Hinduism?
Because we don't know. I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying we don't know.
I do know that there is absolutely zero evidence of the Abrahamic God as old as Hinduism. So I have no reason to believe that the Abrahamic God is as old as Hinduism. Yes, you are supposed to expect evidence. What do you mean how? It could be oral, it could be written.
The evidence you just gave, I just demonstrated how it's not supposed to be expected.
There is no evidence for Abrahamic religion as old as or older than Hinduism.
Just answer my direct question. How do
you haven't answered a single thing, brother.
How do you prove oral tradition?
There is no evidence of the Abrahamic God. Look at you running away from the question. Why are you crashing out, buddy? Don't crash out.
Just answer the question.
So there is no evidence.
Simple question.
I'm not talking about oral tradition in particular.
How do you prove oral tradition?
You're the one strawmanning.
That's what I'm talking about. That's my question.
I know you're wanting to do that. I never said that, and I don't hold to that. I'm not adhering to your false dichotomy. I'm not only accepting oral tradition.
How's it a false dichotomy?
Because I'm not only accepting oral tradition, and you're trying to back me into.
I didn't say you were. I'm asking.
Okay, I'm gonna have to mute you if you don't be quiet for a second and let me get some words out.
Specific question.
You ready to listen?
Are you ready to answer my question?
You bringing up oral tradition only am not going to answer, because I'm not only talking about oral tradition. I'm saying there's no evidence, period, of the Abrahamic God existing as old as Hinduism. Your argument that you are running away from like a cowardice bitch is that, yes, Abrahamic God is older. Now, would you like to provide evidence for that, or would you like to concede to the objective fact that Hinduism is older than the Abrahamic God?
Stop.
I asked you a question. You have no power here. You have no power here. What evidence do you have that the Abrahamic faith is as old or older than Hinduism?
Yeah, the point I was trying to make is that if there was oral tradition, if simply was oral tradition, there would be no physical evidence or empirical evidence that you can study to demonstrate that the Abrahamic
oral
belief
tradition
system
is empirical.
Dude, can I finish? Look at you.
Oral tradition is empirical.
Running,
it is observation of word of mouth. So that is empirical evidence.
Oral tradition from 2,000 years ago, you can observe.
Yeah, you can observe by listening.
You're crazy, dude.
Listening is an observation.
He's trolling. You're trolling. You're trolling.
Is observation?
You're telling me
is
if
hearing,
someone spoke
is
something
hearing
2,000 years ago, you can observe it?
No, it would spread.
You can hear stuff from 2,000
years
years ago,
buddy.
You can hear something from.
Bro, it would spread through oral tradition, so there would.
And
be
how would you
stories.
observe it?
by listening to the stories today.
So if there's a story of Adam and Eve, for an example, which was passed down through oral tradition, could you observe it currently
Those
in modern day?
stories were not known
How are they not oral
that
tradition?
old. There's never
do you know
been
that?
an Adam
How
and
do
Eve
you know that?
story. Can you stop trying to talk over me, buddy? Don't crash out. Don't crash out.
I'm just asking, how do you know that?
I know, and I was answering, and then you asked 3 more times while I was answering. You got to pay attention, buddy. I know
Get to the point,
I know
buddy.
you're struggling. Don't crash out.
Stop.
Don't crash out.
Get
Okay.
to the point.
So here's the deal. With Hinduism, we're going to have oral traditions and writings of these oral traditions older than any oral tradition or story
I
of an
just
oral
said
tradition.
I'm not including writing. Stop.
Well, I think I can help here. What
Holy
if I
crap.
just asserted that Hinduism had older non-written traditions that are even older than your oral traditions?
Older.
Yeah, I can even agree with that. That's why you didn't understand.
No, I did understand. I'm just saying there's no symmetry breaker,
Look-
so it's not a valid point.
Anyways, so
Brother,
can I finish?
there's no
Like you keep
oral talkings of the Abrahamic faith as old as oral tradition, oral talkings, oral stories of Hinduism.
How do you know that?
Because they don't exist. I have not found them. If you have, go on ahead and provide them.
That's
Because of a
not
lack of evidence, I have no reason to believe it. That's the point. This is a burden of proof, bro. Your argument is that Abrahamic faith is older. There's no
That's not my
evidence.
argument.
There's no evidence to justify that, so I
That's
don't
not
believe
my
that.
argument. That's not my
That honestly, and even in the Bible, it shows that the Abrahamic faith, the reason why it's called Abrahamic faith is because it started with Abraham. And technically, the Jewish faith as a whole started with the giving of the law of Moses and the Mosaic law. But regardless, you
Would
had
the Noah covenant be considered within the same religion?
it's a part of the same faith tradition, but it's not the Jewish faith. Regardless,
It would be a
We ha-
continuation of the Noah
But
covenant.
even that, there's
Like,
an
I would believe
older
that story of
story.
Abraham would be,
Oh,
yeah.
it
The
was-
There's
Abrahamic
an older
covenant would be a
story
Eli.
than the
continuation of
story of
Eli.
Noah, brother.
Eli,
Yeah.
even in the story of Noah,
Yeah, can you stop LARPing as a Catholic? Like,
He's not
you
lying.
have it,
like you're a bad
this- in this-
representation. You're a
in the
bad
story
representation.
of Noah, you have the mention of the Nephilim. You have the mention of these different non-followers of God who were out doing their own thing.
What
They
does
were
it prove?
worship. It proves that there are religions that are older than the covenant with Abraham, that are older than the law of Moses, that predate the institution of this religion.
First of all, I'm
That's
speaking
fu-
specifically of Hinduism. I never said that Christianity was the oldest religion.
That's
Why
what
do
you were
I keep getting
implying.
muted? Why can I keep getting muted?
You were
Because
definitely
that-
implying that the Abrahamic faith is the
That-
oldest religion
How did I imply that?
by saying that their story's older and that Hinduism isn't the oldest and that Abrahamic faith goes as far back as Hinduism. Hinduism
That's not
being
what
the
I even
oldest
said.
religion.
If
It
you
is what
don't-
you're implying, brother. I asked
How
you
is
multiple
What's the
times.
point of this line?
How am I implying that?
I said multiple times
You tell your mods to
that
stop
the
muting me.
Abrahamic faith is not the oldest religion, and you said, "How do you know that?" And I said, "Because there's no evidence of oral tradition or writings as old as Hinduism." And you said, "How do you know that?" Which is your implication that there is for the Abrahamic faith, because you're arguing an opposite of me. Stop trying to gaslight, dude. You suck at it.
No.
So,
can
okay,
I
let's
actually
move
represent
this
my own-
on then.
Can
So-
you stop representing
so
my claim
let's
for me? Can
so
I
let's
represent my
so
own?
let's move
If he's
on from this.
misrepresenting your claim, state your claim clearly and precisely, so
I
that we then
can't because I keep getting muted.
Yeah, GD.
No,
No,
can't even
you
thoroughly
actually, no,
speak
you
out my
had
claim.
you had many opportunities to state it clearly, and then you kept saying, "Nope,
And I
that's not
keep
my
getting
argument.
muted.
You're wrong. Tracking
Because I
error."
keep getting muted. So you can't
It
get
doesn't
mad
matter.
at me for not mi-
Yeah,
for
Juggernauts,
mis-
would you leave him be?
You can't get mad at me for misrepresenting my claim.
We're not mad at you.
Or
The only person mad here is you. And by mad,
How am I
I'm not
mad?
saying
Wait,
angry.
how am I mad?
I'm
How am
not
I
saying
mad?
angry.
What if we
Because
all
you-
held our
I'm asking how am I mad, not angry. I never even mentioned angry.
Yeah,
What are you
I
talking-
because mad, you're asking how you're
Yeah, you
mad.
don't even know what
I'm
you're talking about.
implying
You
mad
got
as in,
mad
like,
at
Mad
me
Hatter,
for
like,
because
crazy.
you felt like you didn't need my help. You didn't want my help. You accused me of LARPing as a Catholic.
You are.
accused me.
You quite literally are.
I mean,
Wait, what does
How
Vatican
can you
II
tell?
state? What does
Okay,
Vatican II
yo,
Vatican
hardcore
II
pivot.
say?
We're talking about Christianity right now.
No,
All
I'm gonna test to make sure he's actually a Catholic.
Eli, stop
Co-
trying to
Co-
take over,
Cody.
dude. Jesus Christ.
What does Vatican?
I'm gonna have to kick you if you don't
Vatican-
stop trying to take over. This is you. Stop running from the burden of proof. I am asking you why I should believe in God. You asked me, and you said that the morals of Christianity are good to have. I said no because of this, and this, and you pivoted hella hardcore. Stop pivoting. Why should we believe in God? How is the Christian faith more moral? And why do morals have anything to do with whether I should believe a story is true?
Yeah, first, see, still straw manning. I never.
Okay, I'm done with him. That's
Wait,
so
how is the
fucking annoying.
question straw man?
He's just a Philbro larper.
Like, what is your argument? You're straw manning me.
So annoying. That guy was like gaslighting so hardcore.
Yep. I'm starting to notice that the Phil bros are the ones that hate me and project
Yeah,
LARPing,
yeah.
which is funny. And in fact, the funny thing is that Vatican II wasn't even a council that made doctrine or declaration. So like it didn't teach anything new. What it was a pastoral council meant to take, hey, these are things that we've said in the past, but there's been misunderstandings. This is how to understand these teachings.
Okay, what's that called again?
So
It's called the what?
it's a pastoral council.
Pastoral council. I'll have to research. Actually,
just-
send me some information on your beliefs that I can read up on tonight.
Yeah, because there wasn't anything new taught. It was just, hey, people, like, for example, I even mentioned this yesterday. Hey, people say that outside of the church there is no salvation. People are misunderstanding that. This is what we mean when we say that.
Hey, Catholic, I actually have a question because I honestly can't remember. Which council was it that actually instituted the concept of divine simplicity?
I don't know which one ratified or made it dogma.
Raven.
Sorry. Yeah. It just because the way that the church actually works is very. It's not the way most people think, but the idea of divine simplicity had been around since even like St. Augustine before it became a full-blown dogma of the church.
Dude,
Okay.
I am getting.
No,
so
I was
many
just
people after me.
curious, like
That's
during
funny.
what time period that like became a belief, like a legitimized.
Oh, even before Jesus, it was introduced to the Abrahamic
Well,
faith
we've got Raven up here.
Philo
I
of
want to
Alexandria.
allow Raven to be able to chat. What's up, Raven?
Sorry.
Raven, you're live. What's up?
I'm live? Oh, hi.
Yeah, you're here. How you doing?
Doing really well. I'm really enjoying the conversation. I'm an indigenous spiritualist myself.
Interesting. All right. You said indigenous?
Yes.
All right. Yeah. Cool. I've got a lot of that in my family too. So why do you believe in spirits?
I wouldn't necessarily say spirits. It's just a spiritualism, not necessarily a religion.
You're saying indigenous,
Yes.
as in like Native American,
As in, yes.
that believed in the spirits, the great spirit.
The great spirit, the only one. Yeah. Or if you want to say about like a soul, like a spirit, then every living thing would have one.
Yeah. I consider a soul, spirit, same thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
why do you believe in these?
Why? First of all, I think it was because of the fact I was taught it from a very young age, and personally, I can see it, feel it.
How do you see a soul?
How do you see a living soul? Through eyes, many times.
I have those, and I haven't been able to do it.
Through personalities as well.
Well, my
No, I
personality
just have one
is
personality.
formed through my brain and experience, which is seen observably through my physical actions of my physical body. It shows that you're talking, but we can't hear you.
Oh,
Oh, there you are.
apologies.
Yeah, so in accordance with like personality, that's just going to be the brain doing what the brain does. That's not a soul. So why should we believe in a soul?
I'm not saying that you should. I'm just saying what I believe, right? And part of my spirituality is also to respect what you believe in as well, regardless of what that might be.
I don't
Might be
respect religion
completely
or
different.
spiritual beliefs.
Okay.
I'm here to debate.
Okay.
Indoctrination is very dangerous for society. If you believe things uncritically, it leads to not taking vaccines. It leads to not listening to health professionals. It leads to many bad things that lead to death and ruining societies. So I believe that all religions, all spiritual practices led through indoctrination, i.e. spreading of beliefs uncritically, is bad. So believing in spirits, bad. It means you're gullible and can fall for many other lies. So I don't have respect for anyone's beliefs.
I don't see how.
I just explained it.
So you're saying that as duties and responsibilities to help each other and to make sure that the planet is actually sustainable for future generations is bad?
Nope, that's not what I said. What I said is indoctrination, spreading a belief uncritically, leads to false beliefs and lies, which leads to not believing in health scientists, which can lead to deaths.
Well, actually, we do believe in that health. We do believe in healthcare. We do believe in producing medicines for everybody.
I was just saying indoctrination is bad, so I don't have a respect for all religions and spiritual beliefs.
Okay.
I'm here to debate. You came up here, brought your idea, I shut it down, and you have like nothing else to say. I don't know if we have very much to talk about
I
then.
don't think you shut it down.
Well, I didn't really shut it down. You just stopped responding. I said why I don't believe in a soul, and you just like went quiet without a counter.
Being taught morals and values and your duties and responsibilities, I don't find to be indoctrination. I
didn't
find
call
that to
that
be like, if you
indoctrination.
don't do this, then horrible things are going to happen to you.
I
That
didn't
find
call that indoctrination.
I think I can
Okay.
help here. I don't think it's the morals being taught that he was. I think it's more the magic that he's a little confused about.
Where's the magic?
A soul?
I don't know. I've never been able to find it.
Okay.
A soul is a magical, non-existent thing.
Life
Well,
is.
Also,
Life to
life's
us
not
is
magical.
that magic.
We can use
Life
a
is that
definition of
magic.
magic to be wonderful or beautiful, and that argument, I would agree with that semantic. But no, magic, some supernatural interaction with the world that breaks the laws of physics, does not exist.
Okay, so let's just replace the word magic with life.
Life
Because that's
exists.
what we believe is the most blessed and sacred thing.
I don't necessarily agree that it's necessarily sacred or blessed. Many people have a life in a horrible life. We have trafficking going on by Donald Trump.
Also, I would also just like to point out that, and this is something that I've also kind of taken from you, Cody, is the definition of indoctrination is spreading a belief uncritically. I mean, it could be any belief, whether it's mystical in nature or not. If it's spread uncritically, it's still indoctrination.
Yeah. So I think it's bad, spiritual or not, to believe things uncritically. For instance, a soul. I think it is bad to... I don't think it's inherently bad to believe in a soul. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying all religion is evil. What I'm saying is indoctrination can lead to being bad, because if I believe in a soul, right, I have no evidence for a soul existing except for my mom and dad told me so. I'm going to believe a lot of things that people just tell me so. That means that I'm going to believe the voices in my head instead of getting mental help. I'm going to believe false things in medicine, and I'm going to tell people not to take this vaccine. I'm going to end up voting red and hurting a lot more people. I'm going to take away women's rights because some dumbass fake scientist said that women shouldn't have rights. Or I'm going to listen to a verse in the Bible that says that owning a slave is good. Like, if you don't know how to think critically, you can't see bad. So you end up doing bad.
No, I totally agree with you there. In fact, even with our spirituality, we are taught to really contemplate our words and what we say and what we do.
But you don't contemplate the
that was-
belief. Because why do you believe in a soul?
Because I feel it. I see it.
How do you feel a soul And how can I test that?
I don't know how you don't. That's the thing. I don't know how you
I
don't.
feel chemical reactions. That's what feelings are. I've never felt a soul. I feel my vape. I can touch that. I feel this. That's tangible. I don't know what you mean by feel a soul. I don't know where a soul resides. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know what it would feel like. Would it be cloudy? Would it be milky? Would it be water? Like, what are we talking about here?
I do prefer my souls to be cloudy.
No, it's a nice car. Like Kia Souls are a really nice car.
That's so funny in ways you will never understand. I think she went off the app. I'm gonna move on. I think. I don't think there was very much substance going on there. How do you know you're not just hallucinating? I think therefore I am. There you go. So when it comes to
Technically, I think therefore I am doesn't get you out of knowing if you're hallucinating. It just knows that even if you are hallucinating, you exist.
yeah, so to go more in depth on that, I would say we can test things.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I would say, like, if I can have multiple people around me also verify.
Oh my god, guys.
Like, for example, like, if for some reason I had a mental illness where, like, I thought that my wife didn't really exist and she was just a figment of my imagination and I was hallucinating her, right? But then I went to, like, other people, right? Like a large group of people, and I was like, hey, can you see my wife? And they said yes, then I would at least be able to some degree verify that my wife does actually exist.
So
right?
not Jay, you being a troll doesn't make you right. That's not entirely what I said. CT started talking while I was in the middle of elaborating. So I don't think therefore I
Sorry.
am, therefore I'm not hallucinating. I think and then I test. There you go. So don't be an idiot. Don't be a troll. I'm just going to mute you for 5 minutes for being an annoying piece of shit. If you want to request up and talk about whether God does or does not exist, go for it. Otherwise, I have no patience for idiocracy. Trolls annoy me more than anything, and I get rid of trolls. Oh, there you go. Oh, he requested and then dropped. Pussy! Sorry, had to call you out for what you are.
And Captain, I think your wife exists.
Oh, there you are.
Probably just goes to another school.
There you are.
Yeah, the only thing I have to add is you're an idiotic wimp.
Wonderful, prove it.
Oh, good one.
Prove it? Sure. Just listen to a recording of your show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do daily. Yeah, what if I said this wrong? Go ahead. Oh, he ran! So if you're going to say that I'm an idiot, you need to demonstrate where I was wrong in my argument, demonstrate what I said is wrong and how it is wrong, and then we can talk about that. Was that Darth? Was that Darth Dumbass? Is that what that was? The biggest idiot on all of TikTok? Was that what that was?
I think that's the first time if that was, that's the first time I've encountered Darth.
That's the first time I've been called a wimp.
Oh, Darth, you're such a pussy. Come back, bitch. Come back, you pussy. Come back. Let's talk about it, pussy. Come back. Prove how I'm such an idiot. Prove it. Fucking pussy.
Be careful. There's always two Siths at any time.
the best argument ever. No, because you're stupid.
Welcome to
Honestly,
Darth Dumbass.
As a fake scientist, the stupid one gets me.
No, I absolutely, so like Monkey Boy makes a lot of videos about me being wrong, right? And I agree with him. I'm ignorant as fuck. The purpose of my channel is not to be an all-knowing PhD in philosophy, logic, or physics at all. My only point in doing this is to show that a indoctrinated kid who is a Messianic Jew, biblical literalist, is able to think critically and hold debates against philosophers. That's the point of this. I'm supposed to get stuff wrong. I'm supposed to look things up live and correct myself. I'm supposed to, when I am wrong in a belief, change my mind to show that it is possible for a hardcore biblical literalist to become coherent.
Change. But yeah, but even to further your point that like your big thing is against indoctrination, like, you know, as you said, you know, you've gotten out of it and you're pushing people to think critically and to get out of their indoctrination. And when you encounter, even for people that disagree with you, when you encounter someone that's able to provide a critically thought out presentation of their position, you don't push as hard as you do for the ones that don't.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. When it comes to yours, I grant so many of your things, and then even when we've had our debate, I said, "Hey, I could grant this if this is true, but we have no way of getting to that point yet. If we get to that point, then I can grant it." Like, yeah, 100%. I'm as honest as humanly possible, but I am still a human being. I'm gonna say stupid shit, do it all the time. I'm a fucking human. I'm uneducated. But, anyways, if I'm wrong on something, tell me where I'm wrong.
I gotta admit, I did say something wrong on the live yesterday. I mixed up material and formal heretics.
Oh, I'm too ignorant to say anything anyway.
I mean, it's the same thing. I just swapped the terms by accident.
That's fair. I got an email from someone representing a soccer player claiming they could help my channel.
Which kind of heretic am I? I've been needing to update my resume.
If you're not
You're a dirty
Catholic,
pagan.
Let me see. Were you ever Catholic at some point?
No, I was raised Pentecostal.
Okay.
Oh,
so
really?
At that point, you don't even count for apostasy. At war, let me see. Pentecostal, do they baptize under the triune formula? And I mean specifically, I baptize you in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit.
No, they like vehemently reject that and do like only in the name of Jesus Christ.
Huh.
Okay. So then you're not even considered a baptized Christian in any capacity.
You fucking pagan! You dirty pagan!
Well, no.
Years of academy training wasted.
At best, or worse, depending on how you want to perceive it, you could be classified as an infidel, which isn't necessarily one without faith. It's more of one outside of the faith. So, like someone that is of the Islamic tradition is an infidel because they are outside of the Christian faith.
So I can't even get in the club.
No.
So
this book club is closed off to you, motherfucker.
Jeez, I can't even go to hell in these religions.
So Catholic. I was raised Southern Baptist, and I was baptized in that way. And I will be completely honest with you, because I was Catholic for a while.
Yo, pause. I'm so fucking sorry. You cannot say a Breton is better than a Khajiit. You're crazy.
Hold on.
I always play as a Breton.
What?
I listen. Skyrim should.
Dude, I will fuck you all up in a Skyrim discussion. That's my shit.
Listen, Dark Elf supremacy.
Yeah, dude, dude, fucking dark elf, fucking archer. Hell yeah.
No, it's because I love spell sword classes, and Bretons have a good stat spread for being able to use sword and shield and.
You know what? You're objectively correct, but fuck you, you're wrong.
But yeah,
but you were as.
The main reason that I converted to Catholicism, which I did in my early 20s, was because I really needed the structure in my life at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And the Catholic Church is extremely structured, as I'm sure you well know. Dude, I learned.
I'll say it is extremely.
All of my daily prayers in Latin. I went to the cathedral every morning at 6 a.m. so that I could pray the rosary for the day.
Yep.
Like, dude, I genuinely needed that structure in my life, and that was the easiest way for me to attain that structure.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to ask
What's
that like vape thing that God does in Catholic masses?
Dude, you are
the incense.
They swing around a vape for him.
A vape.
Well, no, that's burning incense. So the difference between a vape and that is it's actual smoke and not water vapor. But no, it's so what it's supposed to represent is it's the taking up the prayers of the faithful up to the heavens.
Just like
that's what it's supposed to represent.
Dissipates.
Wait, CT, do you know how vape works?
Oh my god.
My understanding is that
it's not actual smoke from something that's like quite literally like burning the same.
That's what I said. That's what I said.
It's vapor.
Yeah, that's what I said.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
Oh.
I said unlike a vape, this is actual smoke.
Yeah, I use a sage on a daily basis, and not a daily basis, but I use sage and incense daily.
Who the
I
fuck
heard-
smokes incense?
Oh, God.
First off, I have an announcement.
You're gay.
Oh
Oh,
my
you
God, you're coming
fuck!
out.
A new hand touches the bacon.
But what was it? Who was asking about like became Catholic because of the needed the order and structure? So was
Yeah,
the
that
end of
was
that
me.
question? What would you be considered to be at this point?
I mean, I've just developed my own like daily rituals that have pretty much replaced those.
Hmm.
Pagan.
So
Cody, would you ever be willing to do a hot tub stream?
With you? You gonna cuddle me?
Yeah, bet.
but you would be considered
Next time I join your live, I'll be in the bath on like one
Oh
of the Dean
God!
Withers.
Fucking ruin me
Oh,
like
his
Dean.
phone's gonna be in his left hand.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Wait, you don't know if he's right or left-handed.
I'm ambidextrous.
Ooh.
Oh, he's
Why did I just say
basically
it like that?
amphibious.
I will
But-
say this. I am for sure going to Catholic hell. I am an apostate.
Well, that's what I was gonna.
Go ahead. Sorry.
To be an apostate, you have to have been, at the very least, confirmed. I want to say.
Yeah, I never made it through catechism, if I'm being honest.
Through OCIA. Okay, so
Yeah.
you then might not be an apostate then, because
Like,
an apostate
I
is
had to-
someone who.
I had to go up and cross my arms like a child when communion came up. So.
Okay.
I have gone through my catechism. I can't say it apparently. I went through the whole 9 yards. So I know for sure I'm going to Catholic hell.
Well, even then, like there's some arguments
Don't
that can be
start with
made,
me.
but it's not. But it's definitely a point of big contention within the theological space on.
I will say this though, the Catholic Church that I did attend, and you can look this up because I don't live anywhere near this place anymore, but I will say it is one of the most beautiful cathedrals I've ever been in. It's not very big, but it's
That's what she said.
it is beautiful though.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
The Cathedral Basilica in downtown St. Augustine, Florida.
St. Augustine.
It is a
Florida.
very, very beautiful. Like the architecture is just gorgeous. The inside is really beautiful. Like
You ever been to Italy? Wait, let me green screen on my trip.
Why the fuck are you about to flex on us? You ever been to Italy? Well, I have. Fuck you, you peasant.
Like still to this day, I enjoy listening to the Gregorian chant. Like it's still something that I enjoy, regardless of
Juvenile
connotation.
and immature, yes.
Beauty is
Ignorant,
beauty.
sometimes.
So, can I ask you something, Catholic? In your view, what happens to someone like me who's a non-resistant non-believer?
Good choice of words.
This is peak architecture right here.
Yeah, I'll call you
guys.
back.
Sorry, I had to step away. So first, so the non-resistant non-believer, and this is going to sound horrible at first, but I promise that it's going to make sense. I think though.
Oh, that does sound
Hang on.
The Holy
I think
Spirit
those
said,
are-
fuck you.
Bro, can
It's the bad part.
No,
you know,
I think
terrible time
those.
to decide to ascend.
But I think it's really hard.
Oh my god, what is going on, Catholic?
It's hard to actually be in a state of non-resistant non-belief. In my personal opinion, like if you actually push, a lot of people will say, like, just as to make an easy example, oh, I could never be Catholic because of the sex abuse scandal of the church. So that is a form of resistance, even though they're like, look, if it was true, I would convert, but I could never do this because of this. So non-resistant non-belief, I think, is really, really, really hard to accomplish.
That's crazy. I do it pretty effortlessly.
Yeah, bro, you just gotta like not give a fuck, right?
Well, what I mean by that is it could be the case that there's something that you're not even fully aware of that is preventing you, and the church calls that invincible ignorance, where something outside of your control is preventing you from taking that step. And that's actually a situation, that you would want to be in is that state of invincible ignorance, where if it wasn't for whatever is causing that resistance, you would believe. Because after you pass away, you go to heaven and you actually do see God. Now, I know that's what most people mean by unresistant non-resistant non-belief, where, hey, if I just had whatever was needed to help me see this to be the case, I would accept it. Um, that's that
Look,
fits
bro.
under the invincible ignorance, in my understanding.
Okay, I can't lie, CT, with all respect, you just kind of seem like a guy that's educated, but he's educated about being lost in the sauce, right? Like, the way I look at religion as a whole, it's just like some kind of societal construct, right? That was created by people to essentially cope for things we don't know, right? Gaps of knowledge create things we want to fill, right? That's what she said. And I think it's like a very big issue to sit here and acknowledge these things to be very, very true when, you would agree with me, hopefully, right, in good faith, if I tell you that the attributes or the persona that we apply to all gods is very humanistic.
I mean, that's
Because I
fine.
think,
What I was doing though, someone had asked me, hey, within your worldview, how do you account for this type of situation? And I was
Yeah.
answering within that worldview.
I was asking.
yeah, I understand. It just like seems that like all these accounts are just like a bit.
I mean, but that's kind of irrelevant though. If someone asks, hey, like if someone says, hey, you're an expert on Harry Potter, how does this work in the Harry Potter world? And then to come in and say, well, you need to first, before you can even give that account, you need to prove that Harry Potter exists.
Not necessarily. I'm just like attacking like essentially what the framework is.
That is what attacking the framework is prove that the framework either is true, aka that Harry Potter exists.
Prove that Harry Potter exists. No, I could grant
Well, the book says
framework is
so.
true.
I saw the documentaries. Harry Potter definitely exists.
I mean, to answer your question
Well,
though, on to
yeah.
how it works, right? Is there's levels of metachlorian in your blood, and depending on that level is whether or not you have magical powers.
And I got this cool answer where basically Catholic was like, "You're too stupid to go to hell." So
I'm over here mixing Star Wars with Harry Potter. I apologize, but
I'm too ignorant to know.
I was gonna say invincible ignorance. I think that's Darth Dawkins' superhero name.
Absolutely.
I keep getting blocked and unblocked by Darth Dawkins for some reason.
I think he's bored.
You know he has a DUI number for like domestic abuse.
Anyways,
Yeah.
I avoid drama, dude, like the plague. So many people have issues.
It's just like he also has like a psychological kind of like case where he's this egoistical bastard. And it's very self-evident. Like when you go up to
It's
debate
very
him,
self-evident.
you're just not. He just won't let you speak. Right? He won't let you speak, and he'll just.
He
call you
actually
ignorant.
did I think he was my very first or one of my very first debates, and he actually bodied me quite a bit. I didn't know the laws of logic in their actual terms. I was like giving descriptors for them. And so he schooled me on that. But then I started going like, okay, well, none of this makes it God real. And then he started muting me over and over and over and being like, don't crash out,
Yeah.
buddy. And I'm like, dude, fuck you. Like, chill out, dude. Even I'm not this bad. And I'm an asshole.
Nah, you're not an asshole. You just have low tolerance for stupidity, like I do.
I do have low tolerance.
No, trust me. This is high tolerance.
that's I tend to like, because I usually join these like lives, or I just started getting active in the community, but I do it more as a science communicator.
Yeah.
If somebody's not going to take it seriously and they're just spouting nonsense, I usually just make fun of them.
Oh,
But
there
if
you
they
go. Yeah.
actually have genuine questions, I'll I showed you guys earlier. I'll sit here and yap about physics all day.
Yeah.
But you have these people, like I was on Monkey Boys Live yesterday, and this guy said like his bullshit per minute rate was so high that by the time I try to be charitable and not interrupt, and so like by the time I let him talk for like 2 or 3 minutes, I was like, it would take me hours to undo all the
Yup.
things that you just got wrong.
Yep.
Like, and then when you're like, prove that I'm wrong, it's like, okay,
Okay, buckle up.
yeah, it's. I hope you have some Adderall because we're gonna be here a while. But
Monkey Boy's a
I'm
genius.
gonna head out of the panel.
All
But
right, brother.
I appreciate you guys, and it was good talking. And yeah,
Te amo, papi.
everybody remember to like and subscribe and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I've got an hour left of streaming anyway. Hopefully we can get a couple more people up in here. Gotta take the dog out.
does anybody know the story of this Darth Dawkins fella? I heard his name today, but I don't know who this actually is.
I think Ravis or CT would probably be able to better elaborate.
All I know is that he is another bad faith theist Phil bro. That's really all I know.
It's not even a Phil bro. He's like, so Gary is his name. He's very
Gary
much, yeah. He's like a, if you're an atheist and join up in his live, he's going to condescend the ever living fuck out of you before you get any words out. Then he'll allow you to talk. And then he's going to condescend the fuck. He's just like purely ad hominem over and over and over, and like genuine ad hominem. He's like, you are wrong because you're an idiot. Like he is genuine, the ad hom god.
See, I'm an idiot, but I'm usually wrong for other reasons.
So the best way I can say it is, and I've been permanently banned from Gary's Discord. I'm on his personal ban list. I keep getting added to it over and over again. The thing is, every time you demonstrate something correct to Gary, he will say, well, I don't hold to that in my worldview. And you'll say, it doesn't matter. I presented it as logically sound, and I presented the evidence for it that makes it correct. And he'll say, yeah, but I don't hold to it, so, and he'll drop you, right?
Yeah.
So every time he's wrong, he's automatically right. He is, so,
So just to make sure I'm tracking, did you just say that his worldview doesn't account for truth and won't allow truth into his worldview?
Pretty much. Pretty fucking much. You look super submissive right now.
bad.
Ask me nicely and maybe.
Yeah.
Is he the one that was on Dr. Blitz's live saying that runways don't move relative to airplanes?
I don't know if he
Maybe?
ever.
I know the caller you're talking about. I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it was a different caller.
I just
'Cause I
remember
just
that guy
happened
saying
to-
I don't hold to that, which is what kind of flagged it.
Yeah, it was. I remember. I know the call you're talking about, and I don't think it was Darth Dawkins.
It sounds like something P. Mars would say, but I doubt P. Mars has the brain power to go up on Dr. Blitz's.
Yeah.
So whoever this person was arguing for a flat Earth, and Blitz was trying to explain Galilean relativity, not even like special or general relativity, just the fact that you are always at zero in your own coordinate system. So if you're moving forward, what's really happening in like the physics world is everything else is moving backwards relative to you, because you can't move away from yourself. And so he was trying to start off with a simple example of like, okay, we think of runways as stationary, but if you're on an airplane, is the runway moving relative to you? And he was like, no. He's like, wait a minute. Then how are you getting closer to it? He's like, well, you're moving. He's like, okay, you can't ever move relative to you. So is the runway moving relative to you? And he's like, I don't hold to that. And I was like, oh my God, this is like the Patrick thing from SpongeBob.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's not my word.
There's also the guy who's going around, and I love this guy to death. So if you have him on your panel, treat him with respect. All right? He goes around, the first thing he says, I can prove God. And I was to say, okay, excellent. How are you going to do that, right? And he says, I can prove God because you won't sell me your soul because you have an innate value in your soul. And
Devil, I sell my soul to you. Give me rich and fame.
Yeah.
I tried that, but I still suck at the guitar.
See, on my alt account, I've been collecting souls. I've been going to Atheist Lives and saying, "Hey, I'm just saying if the concept of a soul exists, would you personally sell your soul to me so that we can use its power? If we get enough souls, I think we can use the power to create a machine.
One
Power
sec.
by soul is defeat God."
Yes, hello. I have an argument for God, good sir. I'm going to present in a deductive form.
This is gonna be great.
Oh my
By the way,
god.
I just want to flag that the host was clipped saying that deductive inferences are not logically valid. I do want to flag that for the panel.
Never have I ever said that.
I have the clip. I have
Yeah,
the clip.
you can show it.
Can I make a prediction that if you say you've been intellectually cucked in this conversation, you'll automatically lost? Because I've heard you say that about 18 times, Webby.
No, I have never said that. I say conceptually cucked, good sir. So you're not even
Oh.
tracking the rhetoric. Holy fucking shit, that's a blunder, Chase. And in
We
real
can't
life, Chase, you
all
wouldn't talk to
be-
me like that.
We can't all be titans of intelligence like you.
Yeah, Chase, in real life, you wouldn't talk to me like that. Calm down, buddy.
In real life, I would have to crouch over to talk to you.
Chase, I train Brazilian jiu-jitsu, buddy. You wouldn't talk.
I'm actually, this is funny you mentioned this. I'm actually a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I wrestled in college.
God
Wait,
damn, you
black
just got like
belt? How long
1,000
did you-
times
wait,
sexier.
Who did you get your black belt under?
Henzo Gracie. I have a picture
Henzo
of my
Gracie?
belt from him himself.
Wait. How long have you been training?
Over a decade.
Really? Well, are you like a first stripe black belt or no?
No, I just got my black belt like a year ago.
Oh, okay. Do you have an academy or no?
No, so I started one and then I sold it when I started my PhD.
Okay. You got your black belt under Henzo Gracie.
Yeah,
Where did
I
you
have
like, train out of?
Henzo. It's called Henzo Gracie. The
Can
Woodlands.
you just cam up and show us your certificate?
Well, you don't get a certificate with.
Yeah, you. Okay, that's your first blunder. All black belts get black belt
That's your
certificates.
first
No,
blunder.
not all black
Yeah,
belts. get black
unless you're not an IBJJF certified black belt. Are you not?
belts. I did not certify with the IBJJF.
Holy fucking shit! So you're not a black belt under the International Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Federation, sir. You're not even a true black belt. No one can confirm who your lineage is. That's a blunder. Holy fucking shit! He's not a recognized black belt. There's no way of determining if he has like valid credentials or not.
They could do
This
this
is
for
hilarious.
He's
literally
not registered
anything.
under IBJJF. So he's a liar. He's not a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He's probably a white belt. So yeah, let's get back to
Why
this.
don't you come train with me and see how many times you get suffocated?
Buddy, you're not registered under IBJJF. You're not certified.
I know where you're registered.
I'm registered under Art of Jiu-Jitsu. I train under Guy Mendez and Rafa Mendez in Costa Mesa, California. You can pull up to my academy if you want to train, Chase.
I'll have to drop in.
Yeah, drop in. Our drop-in fee is $100.
That's fine. I'm rich.
Let's go band for band right now, Chase. Let's go band for band right now, Trey.
God, I love you, Chase. That was good. I like that a lot. Fuck, that got a tear in my eye. Anyways, Wubby, are you actually a believer, or are you just like fucking around with the different arguments?
Yeah, I'm actually a believer, low tier.
I know I'm a low tier.
Yeah, I have an argument for God. May I present it?
I mean, go for it.
You can. We will resent you for it, but you will.
Yeah, so the first premise is just that there exists a set of all elements that are not God.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually
The second-
here's what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually grant the entire argument. I'm gonna test something out.
Well, just the argument entails the truth of the proposition that God exists, though.
No
So
clue
do
what
you
you
grant
just
that
said.
God exists? Wait, no, you just said that you're going to grant
I
the
can
entire
grant
argument.
that there is validity to the argument. Now demonstrate.
Okay,
that
we're
this
not
God
talking about
exists.
validity. We're talking about soundness. So that's going to be another
Oh,
blunder,
wonderful.
right? We're talking about whether or not the argument is
Demonstrate
sound.
God then.
Holy shit. Yeah, so the argument entails the truth of the proposition that God exists. So let me give the argument because that
If
is
it's
the
sound, it has to have
demonstration.
epistemic justification.
What's the argument for that?
Real quick, just to make sure I'm tracking. Premise one is that there exists a set of which contains all non-God things, correct?
Yeah, there's a set of all elements that are not God, yeah.
Okay, so there is a set of all non-unicorn elements. Does that mean unicorns exist?
Well, I haven't finished giving the argument. So that's
You said it. The proposition entails the existence of God.
Yes.
So-
but no.
so
What I said is that the conclusion that God exists is entailed from the argument, not entailed from just the first premise. So you're attacking a straw man right now by saying that the first premise entails.
I just repeated exactly what you said.
I've only
and
given one premise of the argument, Slowboy. I haven't even given the conclusion.
Well, you said from the proposition.
I never said that. I said from the argument.
Catholic,
Slowboy.
let him finish
No,
the
you-
straw man for us.
Yeah, I said the truth of the proposition that God exists is entailed from the premises in the argument. That's how reasoning works.
That's not what you said, but go ahead.
You're just trying to cope because you blundered. So just stay quiet, slow boy. So yeah, the second premise is just going to be for every x, if x is not God, then x is an element of the set of all elements that are not God.
No clue.
That's
No clue. That's
literally
just analytically true. That's just
I don't know.
analytically true. What the fuck?
No, it's premise one restated. It's
No,
premise
not,
one
dumb fuck.
restated.
Wait, just to be clear, do you think that those two expressions have the same metalinguistic semantic content? Yes or no?
Have fun, SX.
Yeah, that's
I'm
what I
starting
thought.
to think that his profile picture is a selfie.
Yeah, SX,
Wait,
you wouldn't
so-
talk to me like that in a real life side character. Calm down. So yeah, Catholic.
I never even spoke of anything.
So you said that the
X is
so
the
you
set of
said-
all elements under what modality?
What's up,
I
Sean?
never
just-
said X.
just
So
clarify
just to be
that.
clear, I never said X is a set of all elements. That's going to be a tracking error. You brain dead troglodyte.
Wait.
Holy fucking
What did
shit.
you say?
He
Just to
can't
be
even
clear?
track. Now he's
What did
needing
you
me
say,
to
just to be
clarify. He's
clear?
needing me to clarify what I said.
What
'cause he
did you
wasn't
say,
tracking.
just to be
He
clear?
wasn't tracking, so he's needing me to clarify what I said.
Look,
He tried
look,
coming in
just
like
to be
attacking
clear,
my argument,
okay,
but he couldn't even
again,
critique my
Wubby,
argument because you
you're
don't even
not
track my
known.
argument.
You
Holy
are not
fucking
known
shit.
at
So
all.
SX, you're
Okay.
literally face
Could
down
you
ass up right
please
now.
just
You're face
clarify
down
what
ass
you
up in the
said for the
conversation right now.
panel?
Face
I
down
just
ass
sent
Instead
you
of just being
rhetorical
a good
back
little
shots right
cuck
now.
in
I
the
do want to
corner.
flag that.
Look, I know
Yeah,
you
what's the
sucked
argument? I
Dada
should
Carlos
repeat a
dick all
premise for you.
day,
Go ahead.
and I know I back bitch slapped him the
Yeah,
other
that was
day,
not rhetorical
but I
at all.
just
So just
need
to be
you
clear,
to just
yeah,
clarify
that was
what
not
you said a second
rhetorical.
ago.
Yeah, so that was not
Instead
rhetorical
of
at all.
sucking and
Yeah, so
draining
just
my
to be
balls,
clear
look,
about
you're
this,
flicking the tip
look
right
at
now.
you. You're not even getting
Actively.
rhetorical. You
Just,
think that's rhetorical? I'm
you're
spreading
just
your cheeks
spitting on
wide
my
open
shit.
in the
You're a
conversation.
good
I
little
just
bitch.
spread your
I'm about to
cheeks
nut
wide the
inside
fuck
your
open.
butt.
Holy
Listen,
fucking
can
shit.
you be
I just made your
crystal
cheeks
clear
move in two
again
separate directions in the
and
conversation.
clarify what you
You
said?
look so bad. What's the argument I should clarify for you? Go ahead.
That sounds like a
What
blunder.
did you
Wubby.
say
Holy shit.
a
He's just
second
repeating
ago?
the question. He's asking the question again. Instead of giving an
I
argument that
asked you a
establishes I
question.
should
You're
answer the question.
answering a question with a question.
Yeah, I
Can you not try?
understand that you're asking a question, slow boy. What is the argument I should answer your question?
Ah,
Go ahead.
fuck.
my
SX,
God.
you got kicked.
Holy
Damn it.
shit. He's conceptually cucked right now.
That
Anyway, let's
sucks.
move on to Sean since I gave Sean
Here,
back shots
we'll test it
yesterday
again, but I
on
think-
John's live. Do you remember that, Sean? When I was giving you back shots and you had to muzzle
Wait,
yourself,
Wubby,
you couldn't even
Wubby.
concede. Holy fucking
Wait,
shit. You
wait,
look so
I
bad in the
can't,
the
I
conversation.
argument
can't.
forgot again.
Remember that, Sean? You
I
got
noticed he
clipped
decided
SX,
to
I'm sorry.
ignore me.
Catholic, I literally cucked you 10 minutes ago in the conversation.
Not really, not
No,
really, because I was giving you a response, and then as soon as SX came up, you decided to ignore what I
You
was saying
literally
in
said
my
the second
response.
premise was identical to
No, I said that you basically, not that you did, that you basically, because I was explaining to Cody, who didn't understand what your argument was, that premise two is basically a restatement of the first, and then you'd cut in before I could finish, where it is talking about how there exists at least one thing in that set, that the set isn't an empty set, that there exists things that are in that set. But you decided to interrupt and try to get your trophy points or something. Like,
keep stuttering, buddy. So just to be
Interrupting
clear
is a
about this,
blunder?
if you're claiming that the second premise is just a restart,
Okay, all right.
just go ahead and
I'm these little quibs that you've practiced in the mirror, the little Philbro cliche, like, hey, slow boy, like all the shit that you practice, all the rhetoric is boring. I'm more
That was
interested
not-
in having actual
Yeah, Wubby, could you
adult-
be a little bit more creative
actual-
for the panel?
Sean, that
I'm
was
trying
not
to have,
rhetorical,
like,
by the way. You're a side
I'm
character.
actually-
Just like get a
I'm
little bit more
actually
creative with the
more
rhetoric. The
interested
slow
in
boy
having,
is
like,
over the
On
years.
your side.
actually adult
Side character.
conversations. Like this whole thing, like this is high school shit. Like, ooh, you owned him. Ooh, let's cap on you.
I think they
oh,
are
your
all
mom.
literally in
like
high school.
literally, this is high school bullshit. I'm more interested in having adult
Yeah, that's way-
conversations, which you are wildly
Meta, Sean, you're-
incapable of actually having. Like, who cares
Just
about any
engaging,
of this?
just to
Like,
clarify for all the viewers
I
and
cut
everyone
you
on here,
rhetorically. Like,
Cap
do you think you're the
KG
first
is like
one to say some shit like
okay?
that?
This guy's 4 tiers.
Sean,
at
you're
least
pivoting the
below
meta. How
Cap.
about you engage in the substance of the conversation, slow boy? So just to be clear,
There is no
Catholic-
somebody's
substance. There
asking
is no
you to
How about
do.
you just like disappear?
Look, rope maxing is the new meta for all of KG members.
Rope
Was he KG? I mean, I wouldn't be
I
surprised.
think we should
but I
make a
didn't see the
petition
KG
for all
tag,
KG
but
members
Like they
as a
have.
mandatory construct to be included in a society. They have to jump off a bridge onto a highway.
We gotta be careful with those jokes.
I mean,
was he
they
kidding?
all have the same. They all have the same playbook, the same little quibs, the same little like. Are you getting emotional? Why are you stuttering? You know,
Yeah.
it's all the same shit that they all copy off each other, and it doesn't make you sound intelligent. It makes you sound like an immature little fuck boy. I mean, that's all it makes you sound like.
Of course,
Wait, what's
I'm
going to be
getting
the recommend that
emotional.
fuck
You're
boys
I'm
are
impressed
like below?
if someone can have an adult conversation, like a polite adult conversation where you actually exchange ideas, try not to have your ideas be understood. So there is an art to that, and like a lot of these Phil bros have become very good at trying not to be understood, so that the person like can't quite get what they're saying, so they don't really have a response, and it's just like it's trying to win on rhetoric and like win instead of like, hey, I have an idea that's like worthwhile, worth considering. Let's actually explore this idea. That's what I'm
Which
interested
is true
in.
philosophy.
Look,
Yeah,
Sean,
exactly.
I gotta be honest. Like, whenever anyone ever, I understand what some people mean when they say Phil bro. There's a very clear distinction between incels and Phil bros. I don't think there is an issue with being highly educated and like hyper rambunctious and overly passionate about knowing your knowledge in philosophy. But I also think there is an issue just being a dumb little fuck on the internet, which is what KG are. They're not Phil bros.
No,
they're just trolls.
No, Phil bro is not somebody who's educated in philosophy and has philosophical discussions. I've actually so I've taken one class that is under the umbrella of philosophy. I took a logic class. I got an A. That's it. That's the extent of my academic setting.
No, no.
Your brother in the
That's so
philosophy.
mean.
No.
Like taking a single. Hang on. I just want to. I want to give you my definition of a Phil bro. A Phil bro is somebody who sits there and practices and memorizes philosophy jargon and tries to weaponize the jargon itself instead of like actually trying to exchange ideas. I've spoken with people at length who actually have philosophy degrees, and I can understand them when they are exchanging ideas with me. These Phil bros that like get this like fast pace down and try not to be understood.
Phil bros are just argumentation over substance. They don't actually have any intellectual substance. They just know their knowledge. But then there's other Phil bros that just like LARP one specific topic. They're very educated about it, and then anything besides that is just stupid. I would just call those people incels. Like the entire KG clan are incels.
So here's the thing. Incel already has a term, or is already a term with an assigned definition. It referring to involuntary celibate has nothing to do with one's philosophical knowledge or how one responds. Can one argue that there's overlap?
Do you think that any of them get any action from either genders?
You'd actually be surprised. You'd actually be very, very surprised.
That, and it's also kind of irrelevant to what they're doing.
It is also irrelevant, yes. It is very irrelevant.
So the reason why the Phil bro term,
when we speak of incel as a term, like modernly,
look, I think the way you're using again, the way you're using the term, the way you're using your term is disingenuous linguistically, because an incel already has its own set term. For you to call people who don't follow that definition,
It sounds like M's
now we're
with
back to
voice changer.
semantics.
It does.
But
Is this M's?
I have no M's now.
No.
But I'm saying that again.
Everyone thinks he's M's.
Do you mind if I just finish what I was saying? I was saying that the term incel has its own set definition. For you to call a person who does not fit that definition exactly that definition is just disingenuous. It's stupid.
And in regards for like the term Phil bro, what that's attempting to do, like you were talking about, is like, oh no, Phil bro isn't anyone within the philosophical community, because you're a brother. Well, when Sean was referring to his brother or to his philosophical background, you said, congratulations, you're a Phil bro because you're a brother in philosophy.
What does Phil mean? Like
the term philosophy. So what the term can I explain what the term normatively means on like TikTok or probably other sites too. It doesn't mean somebody who's educated in philosophy. It doesn't mean someone who discusses philosophy. Philbro is a specific that whatever, I don't even remember his name. He comes up with all kinds of different names. The guy who just left, that's a Philbro. The guy, they're not actually interested in dialogue. They're interested in trying to obfuscate with like overly wordy jargon to try not to be understood and to try to sound smart. And it's
Here's
in a
what I'll
practice
say,
pace.
right?
Use terms like slow boy, use terms like or phrases like you've been rhetorically cucked,
Oh,
like
they
stuff. You know
accuse
what
you
I'm?
of not tracking the argument.
Yeah. Oh, that's a blunder right there. That's Philbro terminology. Yeah, exactly. Go ahead. That's Philbro terminology. You get the difference, right?
Hey,
And
hey, I
Collapse
say
is
that.
backing you up with
You
the
know that's
$2
crazy.
super chat and saying Sean is the only one correct here.
Sean,
Wait,
remember
all
I
of you
say
know
go
who
ahead all the
Khaleesi
time.
Bai is, right?
How am I wrong? I didn't even say anything.
Sean, I say go
You
ahead
know
all
who
the time.
Khaleesi is, right? What would you call him a Philbro?
What I call who?
Khaleesi or Vi.
I don't.
My fellow
I'm
British
terrible with
Anglo-Saxon.
maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe
Okay,
I
or take
don't.
me for
I'm bad
example.
with
Take me for
usernames.
example. Okay, so I have a stupid Philbro side. Okay, to where I kind of LARP 30% and then I know 70%. Okay, and I just do the same jargon they do. Does that qualify me entirely as a Philbro?
I mean, it's subjective. Like, if you like to fuck around and you're just by definition, if you're LARPing and you're playing that role to like fuck around, but you're not actually trying to like quote unquote win on the internet, then I'll just say you're LARPing. It's like if I LARP as a Christian, am I actually a Christian?
Well, what do you mean by
I should
win on the
also add, by
internet?
the
You
way,
can win arguments while
I
being
should
devil's
also add, by the way, a majority of the time, you'll see field bros make weird-ass syllogisms for the existence of God, for example. They'll grab it like contingency and weird terms and whatnot, and they'll use like set theory as if they even know anything about it.
Yeah.
Like, for example,
Yes.
for
Go
example, I believe on John Cohen's live, there was one
Yeah.
guy talking about a set C, something like that.
Oh yeah. That was the
That
guy
was the
that was
same
just in
guy.
here.
That's
That was
like
the same him. Yeah.
That was the same guy.
He's been in there. He's been in there before. So like when he first came in, he was under the username Qualia, and then he's like, "Would you because we discussed belief not being a choice, and it's not, and I'll argue that all day long. But
I agree with you. Yeah.
do you believe that? How did he word it? Do you believe that beliefs are propositional attitudes? And then blah blah blah. Like he just had this like script he was like running down
They
instead
love
of
to
trying
talk
to have.
about propositions too. They love the word proposition.
I'm fine with the word proposition because it's like it's very normative. Like in these circles, most people know what a proposition, and some people don't. And you know what you don't do? Make fun of the people who don't. You just calmly like, all right, a proposition is a claim about a fact, or things of that nature.
Okay, Mika, what would you say instead of using the word or the term proposition?
I mean, I don't mind the word proposition, but I'm saying that they have a strange obsession with the word.
Okay, well, when you speak of a said so topic or a proposition, you're gonna bring up that proposition a lot.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that usually, again, this does not mean that everyone who uses the word proposition is a Phil Bro, but I'm saying that usually.
My issue, like with the whole Philbro thing, is that I think all of us have some kind of idiosyncratic definition.
I love this super chat right here.
What do you mean by shut the fuck up? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I call this the Jordan Peterson defense. It's sometimes, listen, sometimes it's okay and appropriate to like define terms, especially when people use terms that words like faith, where faith has a lot of different usages and you might not quite know what someone means by it. But like,
or even
what do
like
you mean
earlier
by
dimensions
what do you
in
mean by
the scientific
do?
community.
What do you mean by that's it's the Jordan Peterson defense?
What do you mean by belief? And what do you mean God?
Yeah.
Three different ways that
sometimes
dimensions.
You know, here's the thing. Like Jordan Peterson has an existential crisis every time he has a conversation. I have no idea.
That's right. Yes, he does.
I have no idea why.
What you mean by
Every
God?
single time he talks, he has an existential crisis. did you watch that conversation he had with Richard Dawkins?
I may or may not have. I don't recall
Because
if I've
he
seen
was
that one.
asked a very simple question. First of all, he won't even admit he's a Christian, number one. And number two, when he was asked if Jesus was born of a woman called Mary, he just paused. He looked at the couch and was like, define born. Define the Jesus couch.
Yeah, that's so fucking stop. Just stop, Jordan. You know what the fuck they mean.
Look,
And then he started yapping about fire being predators. I'm like, how the fuck does that have anything to do with the question he asked you?
Yeah, what do you mean by believe? Because Nietzsche, when he says, if you know what someone means and you're asking them to you're obfuscating, you're being a dishonest
Wait,
interlocutor.
you have to have at least seen the 20v1 of him debating like atheists.
Oh, yeah, I've seen clips of it. I haven't watched the whole thing.
Because of the way he behaved initially, it was a Christian v 20 atheists. But because of the content of the video, they changed it to Jordan Peterson because they don't know what the fuck religion he believes in.
Yo, just real quick, we have a new guest. I don't know if y'all know who this is.
Hello. Can we get your age, please? Go ahead. New guest, can we get your age?
Need.
Well, it depends on what you mean by new guest.
Oh my God.
What do you mean by new?
The person who has just joined above my head. Now, could you do me a
Political
favor?
beliefs, circumcised, uncircumcised, pronouns, age, etc.
Did you ask him if he's
Social
cut?
security number.
It might be a woman.
Oh,
He's got to clean his room before he talks, you know.
All right, Neener, how you doing?
I mean, Sean, depending on
you
what
a
country she's
leprechaun?
depending on what country she's in, it could be possible.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Like a general mutilation is awful.
Who's the woman?
What is the woman? Apparently, according to
Actively great entity.
Well, Neener, you're over the age of 18?
Neener isn't speaking.
Yeah, we'll call you back, Neener.
I see like sounds. Neener, are you there?
Oh, hey guys. Hey,
there you
I
are.
totally fat fingered it and got on your panel. You know, I agree with the conversation. I'm gonna jump down. Sorry about that. My bad.
Okay. Appreciate you. Pretty chill
We
dude.
find the
It's all
term fat
Same
fingered to
thing
be kind of
happened to me,
mean.
except I
People
bought
feel
some.
pretense.
Hey, just because you have fat fingers doesn't mean you have to brag about it, okay?
How long have you been on this live so far?
Huh?
How long have you been running the live so far?
This is 2 hours so far. I took like a week-long hiatus to get moved. So it's slow. Got to get back in the algorithm's favor.
I think we also spent like the first 30 minutes doing Ask a Theoretical Physicist.
Yeah, pretty much.
That was weird.
Yeah, I think it's going to take like a week to get back up into the hundreds of views a stream.
Do you use your flares or whatever?
Do I use what?
Your flares.
If
What's
I'm like
up,
stuck
every
on an
time?
island.
A
Yeah,
flare?
there's like this creature flare or spark. I forgot what it's called, but like it basically boosts your mind.
Interesting, really.
Could you define fat? Go ahead.
Calorically gifted.
Could you define gift?
Yeah, that's the thing.
What do you mean by evidence? What do you mean by first? And why is that stash
Presented
a trap thirst?
independent of a
You know what? You could do me one
fucking
even better. You could do me one
bars.
even better.
Want me to define
You could
what
do
a
one
thing
even
is?
better. You could do one even better. I was accused of being M's. Could you define M's for me? Go ahead.
Wait, can you define the definition of definition?
You
Could you
do
define
sound
the
so
define?
much
Could you
like M's.
Could you define M's? Go ahead.
Could I define what?
The
Could you define the guy I'm
sexiest
accused of
sounding
being?
motherfucker alive.
Wait, that's gonna be a blunder.
How would it be a blunder? Go ahead.
Yeah, usually when I hear people talking like you, they're like whistleblowers on the news.
What's the definition of existence?
Could you define the definition of definition?
Jesus fucking Christ.
Okay, sure. Definition of definition.
I think Cody's
Could
had
you
enough
name-
of this.
Could you name 10 organs? Could you name 10 organs?
Right, broken down in non-exclusive terms.
Why is that stash? That's funny.
Cody, can you define evidence?
Could you
Yeah, facts and
could you
information
name
leading to a true conclusion.
could you name 10 organs? Could you name at least
Fact.
evidence?
You wouldn't happen to be like on the front
I
of
don't
a
know, bro. I think evidence is just something that raises the probability of a proposition to be true.
I actually, with my studies in the philosophy definition, which only Philbro losers use, and the actual Oxford Dictionary definition, which the majority of all human beings with brains use, I
Yeah.
think they go hand in hand. Because if you say something raises the probability, it still requires facts and information to lead to a true conclusion.
Sure.
Yeah.
So that's why I stick with Oxford Dictionary,
Well,
because
facts.
Philbros
Yeah,
just piss me the fuck
but-
off and fuck their definitions.
Okay,
If they
but
can't
dude-
use a regular definition, they can go fuck themselves sideways.
Yeah.
Okay, is it a fact? Okay, if I say God exists, it could be a fact that I said this statement, but a fact which increases probability that God exists.
Well, I had an argument with Sir on that the other day. Sir was saying, alongside like evidence, right? So like we were talking about hoof prints in snow, and he said that that would be probability raising for a unicorn existing, and I said no, it's evidence that a animal walked here. We have to then follow the evidence to what the true conclusion is to find out what it is. It's not evidence for a unicorn; it's evidence that something was there.
Could you believe that I once met an Eastern Orthodox Christian who rejected macroevolution because he claimed that it doesn't philosophically hold?
That's funny.
He
You're
said
not
that with his
Ems?
faith. I am not Ems, no. But I'm saying that I was saying that he's accepted it. He made that claim boldly, with no shame.
Yo, Peg the Prophets. What a base name.
Peg
Oh my
the
god, I'm losing my voice. I'm so fucking sick.
Peg the Prophets? Where'd you read that?
Peg the Prophets is a based woman. I know her.
Yo, consider me a prophet then. Come here.
Ems trolling LMAO. I am not Ems, I promise you.
They should at least see it coming if they're good prophets.
I'm sure you can at least tell the difference between the way I speak and the way he speaks.
You guys actually have the exact same inflection.
There's a slight, well, there's a slight variation. It's very close. Like I will say that it's very close, but like
even that, he just went, That's exactly what Ems does.
So when I first heard him, I knew in my mind, I knew he was somebody imitating Ems, pretending to be Ems, because that's what he sounds like. He doesn't sound exactly like Ems. He sounds like someone doing a good job of imitating him.
Damn good job.
Yeah, and then what cued me that he wasn't actually Ems, and respectfully, Mika,
it was a pretty stupid mistake, I know.
Ems is a medical doctor.
I know, yes.
You, Mika, you confused. You mixed up
abiogenesis and evolution.
And yes, abiogenesis and evolution.
Yeah.
And then right then it was like, that's not Ems. Ems would know the difference.
It is not that I don't know the difference.
Okay, look,
that I miss again.
Ems has a naturally deep voice, but he forces the way he sounds.
Oh, does he?
Does he?
You can just tell. You can just tell the way he lowers his tone and kind of whispers and lets the bass really be prevalent.
Well, I mean, what was it? Now that I think about it, I think he denied using a voice changer. But I think, yeah, Dr. Blitz once made a comment about how, and in order to protect privacy and things like that, Ems uses a voice changer. And Ems said, no, I don't. And I'm trying to remember if he said, this is my natural voice, or if he just said, no, I don't use a voice changer. But I know he denied using a voice changer. I thought, but then as I thought on it...
No, I don't think it is a voice changer.
Yeah.
I just think he just kind of forces the way he speaks.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say is like, I think he said this is my voice. But I guess one could argue that like, even if you're, like a voice actor changing their voice, that's still quote unquote their voice. But
considering the fact, again,
like if you guys know who G1 is, right?
I know G1 is a ridiculous person.
Yeah, G1 has a naturally deep voice. He does actually speak like that, but he does kind of force it, right? So sometimes he'll break the way he forces it, and his voice is a bit higher pitched. It's still deep, don't get me wrong, but it's nowhere near how he speaks usually, right? It's the same where M kind of like forces it.
Here's the thing, though. I'm not even doing an impression. This is just my natural way of speaking. So I do not think Ems is actually forcing it either.
This is
No, I'm not
genuinely
speaking about you. I'm just
interesting.
saying that G1.
But I'm saying again, because I sound like Ems, it is also likely that he also sounds the way he does.
How much do you charge to read bedtime stories?
You know when I met you.
But
know
like
when,
to be honest, even if you can force your voice to be this way with your Ems, G1 or you, Mika, you should do it. I can't lie. I don't think there's anything
if
wrong
you
with
had
it.
the, if
I
you
think
had the
sometimes it
time,
could be a bit corny, but
uh-huh.
I don't think there is anything like, yo, cool, bro. You got a deep voice. Use it.
Just
I can't imagine listening to Ems and Mika have a conversation while I'm high.
Dude,
That would just
wouldn't
fuck
be able
me
to
Yeah,
up.
tell
that would
who's
just
who.
be like listening to Optimus Prime and like fucking what was the other one? And Kratos having a conversation.
Yeah, when I first heard Mika, I thought I'd been drugged. He's like, "How are you feeling?" I'm like, "Oh,
uh-huh.
everybody's
Yo,
voice
who are
sounds
the
so deep."
tweakers of TikTok
You
lives?
know,
I
I
think
would.
it's like Lucario and then probably like Seer.
Uh-huh. You know when I first met Sean and I conflicted evolution with abiogenesis, I think after that call I had to take a shower.
Are you a theist?
I am an atheist, yeah. I'm also ex-Muslim, like
Oh,
Ems.
you're an atheist. Mm.
Oh, ex-Muslim.
Like Ems is, yeah.
Yeah. Until I met CT, I used to think that if I were to be religious again, I would be a Muslim. And then I met CT.
Yo, wait, Cody.
I'm sorry.
Bro, how can you not believe that Muhammad didn't split the moon and that he didn't fly up on like something
Again.
resembling the image of a donkey up to Jannah?
Listen. There is very good medical advice you can actually find in the Quran, but you'll have to infer it directly. I'll explain to you.
Yeah, but like
Chapter 86,
embryology is
again.
not one of their good strengths.
But at least you know that you should never
Until
get
I
your
understood
vasectomy
the
from a Muslim
mechanics
doctor.
wouldn't work. That's amazing, Prophet.
At least
That's
you should
amazing.
know. At least you should know that you should never get your vasectomy from a Muslim doctor. You'll end up losing half of your spine.
Wait,
Hey,
what?
wait, why would you ever get a vasectomy
The reason why I
if
say that is
sperm
because
comes between the
it says that-
backbone and the rib cage?
So if they to give you a vasectomy, they might remove your spine.
Oh, yeah.
That's funny as fuck.
I get the reference.
You should also be wary, because if you meet a person who studies embryology but they happen to be Muslim, they might just tell you that you were once a sperm clot and then you change into like a piece of gum and then you became a human.
Hell yeah.
I'm what's fascinating to me is that Christians and Muslims have not all of, but some of the same exact arguments for their religion. My holy book has prophecies. My holy book made predictions about science that science didn't figure out until later on. Like a lot of the same exact arguments, completely different religious books saying the same fucking thing.
Do you know how insulting it is for people to go around pretending they know your language and then butchering it every single time?
Look, these are the most common arguments. So contingency argument,
It's like the work I did
Islam and Christianity.
again.
Psychophysical harmony for Islam.
Just a second.
For Christianity.
Just a second. I was saying, imagine learning a language for almost all your childhood. Imagine reading a holy book 140 something times. Imagine reading every single piece of literature for people to lie to you about it to your face. Imagine people lying to you about the things you've spent researching for years. Do you know how insulting it is?
I can imagine.
Every single time.
Dishonesty in general, it's a trigger for me, and I don't mean just like somebody flat out lying, which is also triggering, but like disingenuousness. Like if you ask somebody a question and then they dance around it in their answer and then pretend or insist that they actually answered, it's it's infuriating. And it's like,
very angry.
Yeah.
And I don't really like getting angry because I already have a condition with my heart anyway.
Or asking people to define, what do you mean by when you know they know what the fuck you mean by it.
Yep, that's the most annoying.
By the way,
Yeah.
Sean, do you remember on John's life there was this old guy, who kept yelling at you guys?
that could be one of like
Yeah.
Millions.
like dozens.
He claimed to be Prophet Elijah. Do you remember?
Oh,
That was the
is he
funniest video.
is he the recent one that was like the Black Hebrew Israelite that's like real into race and shit? Like he gets full on like God is black and hates white people, like literally saying those things.
Oh man, I'm white.
I wonder how he feels about Arabs.
Oh, that's a good question. He's obsessed with white people though. And here's the thing, like nobody is guilty of the sins of their fathers or what have you, right? But speaking broadly, like white people have a lot to atone for. Like there's certainly criticism and problems that persist to this day, like that have been generated by racist policies and everything else. There's enough there to talk about that is actually legit without saying God is black and hates white people. Like you don't have to go down to crazy town to discuss. Yeah.
Like throughout history, white people have done a lot of damage to like a lot of cultures.
Yeah. And the thing is too, is like we are like, as I recognize that as a white person, I am the beneficiary. I mean, I didn't make it that way myself, but I am the beneficiary of racist policies, of the beneficiary of generational wealth and, things of that nature that have been denied to African Americans. I've gotten an inheritance twice. I mean, I'm not rich, but you know what I'm saying? That's just one example.
To be fair, you'll see the same thing when you discuss things like the patriarchy.
Yeah.
Notice how we went from who sounds like I'm the best to now inheritance.
Say that again, Mika.
Notice how we spoke about who sounds like M the most, and now we're talking about inheritance.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's about time to end stream then.
Oh yeah, I was gonna mention to Sean while I had you here that I am the
Hey,
same
Cody.
chick that teaches physics from YouTube that John had mentioned. That he was like I could bring you up for physics stuff sometimes, and I was like for sure, and he's like I can't do it on YouTube, so I made a TikTok for Monkey Boy, Cody, and John because I had 3 people who were saying that I could only request on TikTok.
Okay, so are you a physicist?
Yes, so I am almost done. I'm working on my PhD in string theory, quantum gravity,
Okay.
early universe cosmology.
Oh, that's great. I just followed you, and sometimes when like a topic comes up, we'll send out the bat signal for people like Scientific Snitch. The only person I had for like physics has a master's, but like isn't on a whole lot. So it's great to have another option in physics. But yeah, I'll send up the bat signal. We're going to be on this evening starting at 5 Eastern time. And so, yeah, if something comes up and you're available, if you can't make it, of course, no issue, but I'll shoot you like an invite to if physics come up, because I'm so sick of people coming in. The second law of thermodynamics proves God.
Yeah,
Please, if
that
you could
was
do me a favor, if a Muslim comes up and M's not available, shoot me an invite.
Ooh,
sure.
That's a good idea. I need to follow you.
They won't
too.
even know the difference.
No, they wouldn't. Not at all.
And the same thing for me. I don't know how many of you were watching yesterday, but like I think yesterday was a good example. The last guest Cody had wellness.
Yeah.
Kept trying to push on something, and Cody didn't know how to explain in a way for wellness to understand what the actual problem was. I can definitely help out a lot for Catholics, but even just like general theistic Christian, like he was deist technically, but he was using Christian styled arguments. But classical Christian arguments, I'll be more than happy to help out if you feel like you're running into a brick wall. And
But yeah, I was just saying because I didn't know if you guys knew that I was the same one from YouTube. That that's the main reason I made a TikTok because I had several people be like, I can't bring you up on YouTube, and I was like, well, and I don't know if you know Dr. Blitz. I'm actually actively writing a paper with him right now.
Oh yeah, me and Dr. Blitz are drinking buddies.
Oh, okay.
No,
yeah.
he probably doesn't even know who the hell I am. No, but you actually know Dr. I'm assuming because you guys are both in physics circles, like you guys know each other and talk and stuff.
Yes, so we're actively writing a paper right now because I work in quantum gravity and he works in gravity.
Okay.
So we're kind of merging those and doing a gravitational wave type project. He's actually the one that told me to start doing this. We were talking about physics, and then he was like, we could use more physics people around because I've been a fan of all you guys for a while, just watching the lives and everything. And he was like,
"Oh, awesome!"
He's like, "You could contribute," and I was like, it never crossed my mind."
I mean,
hey, Chase, can I run something by you?
For sure.
Like, I'm a complete freaking layman, but I still like to think about shit, and I sort of armchair hypothesizing about like for a model of the universe. What makes sense to me, because when we look at spatially, like within our observable universe, there are things that are I don't know of anything that there's just one of a thing. Like there's multiple supernova, there's multiple, or is it novae? Anyway, there's multiples of all sorts of things, right? And also on top of that, they always talk about like the whole universe being in a hot dense state, like in the fucking theme song to like the show. But really, it's only the only part we know about is the observable portion of the universe, right?
Oh, yeah, you're touching on some interesting topics.
Yeah. Now, what if? Now, this actually makes sense to me. We are just part of one big bang event, and like spatially, like way, way, way further out, say hundreds of billions of light years away, another big bang has happened, and another one, and they're like sort of a common occurrence in the cosmos, just like supernovae are.
Yes, this is a type 2 multiverse.
Okay. So that's called type 2 multiverse.
Yeah, so there's 5 current types and they get increasingly more abstract. So the first multiverse is basically our observable universe is what it is, but then there's an infinite version of our universe that we can't see, but it's just ours. Type 2 is this model where you have eternal inflation going forward, and little pocket events cause big bangs that create little bubble universes. And by bubble, I don't mean it's a literal bubble. I just mean like, your observable universe is always going to be a sphere.
Right.
So it's creating those always. And then you have a type 3 multiverse, which is essentially a literal, if you take very literal the implications of the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have a type 4 multiverse, which really comes from string theory, where it says that all of the 10 to the 500 possible string vacua actually are universes, since they are possible.
Okay.
And then you have a type 5 multiverse. Like I said, they get more abstract. A type 5 multiverse is all of the mathematically possible.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the set of multiverses theory is also what was used to like disprove fine tuning, essentially arguing for like a more, basically trying to put like universes in like a bell curve.
I have multiple problems with fine tuning that I think evidence is trying to like end the life, but like at some point I'd love to go over those with you. But Chase, the type 2 now, granted, intuition is not a good, because there's a lot about physics that are wildly unintuitive to me. So, but my idea, which of course I wasn't the first apparently, but like my idea seems to be like most intuitive to me.
It follows from the math. So if you do the mathematics of inflation, it's actually really hard to make it stop doing that. you would have to insert some other terms that are not currently observed to make it stop, which is what
Okay.
made the idea start being taken seriously in the first place.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. So to me, it's just intuitive, but you're saying it also uh, meshes well with the math and the current expansion and everything. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Now, to be fair, all 5 different ideas have mathematical
Yeah.
backing, which is why they're all taken seriously. But yeah,
Right.
there is a mathematical reason. Like I've been saying this, but one day I'm going to stop being lazy and actually make some science communication videos on interesting things like this. But
Oh yeah, that would be awesome.
but right now I'm trying to finish my PhD, so I'm doing a lot of research and writing my dissertation. And
Wait, do you mind
that's
if
why I
I
listen to all these lives so much. I just put you guys on and listen while I work.
wait, Chase? Do you mind if I ask you a question?
For sure.
I was going to say, do you know what stochastic determinism is? The theory.
Yeah, are you talking about Jacob Barandas's stochastic indivisible processes?
So like not knowing the individual configurations, despite the reaction still being deterministic, right?
Yes. I think it's really interesting. I don't have the time to work on it because it's not in my field, but I'm very excited to see where that goes.
I was going to ask, could this explain wave distributions?
It has the potential to explain. It has the potential to explain a lot of things in much better ways. The issue currently is it predicts exactly the same thing as our current quantum mechanics, which is a good and a bad. It's good because obviously the answers that we get are generally correct. It's bad in the sense that how can I distinguish it from many worlds or Copenhagen or any other different way to formulate quantum
Because
mechanics?
the problem is with any statistical. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the problem is with any statistical test that you run, you always have some uncertainty like that's above like at least 10%. But if you like take into account like external factors, you seem to get much more closer.
Yeah.
It's weird.
But not in. So in quantum mechanics, it depends on what you mean by a statistical process. In quantum mechanics, if we, for example, work out the math and you say that if you run this experiment, a sufficient amount of times, you're going to get 33%. The energy is going to be at level 3, 35% it's going to be at level 4, and the rest is going to be at level 5. And you run that sufficiently large, you will get those amounts currently to the accuracy of 1 part in 10 billion. That's how accurate the standard model is.
Wow, and that's not with a statistical test, right?
No, it's not a statistical test, but it is the math is probabilistic in nature.
Well, okay, but this is still stochastic determinism, though.
This is just standard model physics. What I was saying about stochastic processes is it can reproduce this in a novel way, which is what makes it interesting. But it still needs to differentiate itself. Like it still needs to do so. It needs to do something better than what we have, if that makes sense. Or else you just found a way to restructure the sentence we already had.
Chase, I have a quick question for you. The idea of something, or in this case, someone existing outside of space and time, is that nonsensical in terms of physics, or is that like a theoretical thing that is taken seriously in physics? Is that actually a thing?
No, not only is that not a thing, but we have extra bounds on things like space and time. So for example, you can't have we have something called unitarity, which basically says that the probability of every possible outcome has got to add up to 1. There's no way that it so you have these things called tachyons. This is one of the reasons that I work in string theory. We need 10 or 11 dimensions, or even 26 for the original bosonic string theory, is because there were tachyons, and these are massless or negative mass particles that can travel faster than the speed of light, and they violate unitarity. They have negative probability outcomes, which is nonsensical.
Gotcha.
I do. Oh, sorry, I was going to add further that every single theory of time doesn't even discuss origin of time. It just discusses mechanics of time, which is still a boundary.
Yeah, and so that's what I was saying is, and he's kind of getting to or saying what I was getting at, which is not only do I not know how to do anything with something that's outside of space and time, but we also even have kind of strict bounds on what you can do within space and time.
Right. So
Dr. Blix kind of explained it before, I think.
Even if we're being Dr. Diggs, she is
Diggs.
not. Are you talking about Diggs?
I said Dr. Blitz.
Oh, Blitz. I thought you said
Uh-huh.
Dr. Dig because she's her field is
No,
biology.
no.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Got you. Yeah. So no, it wasn't Dr. Dix. It was Dig. Yeah, she's a biologist. But
Uh-huh.
yeah. So Chase. So even being charitable, because I try to be fair. You're saying that not only are we unaware of anything that existing outside of space and time is a sensical concept, it doesn't even compute in a theoretical sense. It's just an absurdity. In
Yeah.
physics, it would be an absurdity. Okay, that's good to know.
So
So I confirmed with one other person. Yeah. So I got two sources of like cosmologists who have said the same thing, and so when they keep bringing that shit up, like, well, God exists outside of space and time, like, yeah.
yeah, I don't even know what that would mean, to be honest. But
I should also further rant, if you don't mind. I should also further rant. The way they describe God, they end up by giving him no functional existence. Because if we have the supposed entity that lives outside space and time, that cannot be
Right.
understood, that possibly has no physical existence, functionally, it's non-existent.
Yeah, it seems that way intuitively. Yeah, and when I think about it, what does it mean to exist for no time? That means not to exist at all.
And again, as allegedly Ian had made it clear, something cannot bring about a change if it's not within time.
Right, because time is a measure of change.
Yeah,
or sequences.
So I could predict two things. So one of the things I try to do with these lives, especially because you never know what these people are going to throw at you, what they're Googling at home.
Yeah.
I would expect two objections. I would expect then what's space-time expanding into, which, I mean, we all know that it's not expanding into anything.
Because
but
it's the space itself that's expanding.
Yes, yeah. So what you would need is, I would have an explanation for that on hand.
Yeah.
And then only for but I don't think anybody that's educated enough to know about causal set theory would be arguing on these lives. But if they knew about causal set theory, we kind of invert where causality creates time rather than causality being a like a function of time.
Oh yes, because if causality, then time, right?
Yeah, so basically you have a set of causally ordered events that has three rules. There's transitivity, non-reflexivity, and finiteness, which I won't go into. But if you impose these three rules, then you can have basically a time slice. So if I would like think of time like a loaf of bread, if I was to cut it into slices, then on the first slice, I have these events that are all, they can't cause each other, right? Because they're all on the same slice. They each correspond to events on the second slice, and so on and so forth. And then what you can say is basically counting the slices between causally ordered events is time.
We're describing the B theory of time.
It's consistent with the B theory of time, but it's almost constructing it rather than describing it.
Is the B theory of time, because I'll be honest with you, I haven't read up on it, so I don't like understand it yet. Well, I'll try to understand it. Some physics I read up on, and I'm just like, I don't have the base knowledge to quite get it. But is the B theory, Chase, is that established as in this is an accurate model of time?
I'm so sorry. I got to get going.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Feel free to message me though. I love answering physics questions, so feel free.
Oh,
to
sure. Yeah, I'll message you on it.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Everyone.
We'll
see you guys later. And then also, everyone, Sean and John are going live at 5. Go check them out.
5 Eastern time, so in 2 hours.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's 4 for me.
Perfect.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Appreciate
you have
it.
a good one. Adios, Chase. Appreciate you coming up here. Sean, appreciate you coming up here today.
Of course.
See you guys in the next one. And YouTube, appreciate you guys. Mods going ham like always. Love you guys. You are the favorite child. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Adios.